Hey South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Raid. And it's going to be your boy Aggressive, joined by none other than the beautiful, handsome boy known as Salty. He has his microphone, he has this incredible headset as well, ladies and gentlemen. And also, we got a QR code that's down below from the side of Red Bull. Make sure to scan that, get yourself energized, prepped up, and ready, because today's fixtures are going to be one for the books as well. So let's head on down over to the matchups and see exactly which team are going to be the ones to fire themselves up on towards the side of the server. It's going to be none other than Force One and Team Valor. This is a lower bracket game here, ladies and gentlemen, or the lower bracket semifinals. These two teams, they are going to be the ones to duke it off against one another after pretty tough losses against their opposition. Force One, they lost against EXO, and Team Valor, they lost a very close set against the side of Velocity yesterday.
Exactly. Both the games are actually lower bracket, and I mean, both are eliminators. We are going to miss out two teams, two big names in the competition after this day. And it really comes to cutthroat competition at this point, because you look at all the teams in, matched up against each other, Force One as well as Team Valor, Enigma versus Reckoning. We saw Enigma really pull off an upset against Team Global Esports, the way they won the game in spite of not having the full lineup playing against them. It was extraordinary. It was historical. But then right now, Reckoning Esports are probably one of the teams that are in red out form. Yesterday, they did suffer against Team EXO. I saw the game. Universe was there as well, and they did struggle, and the strategies weren't really coming up. So all these teams, they are struggling, but they again have performed brilliantly throughout the season. How are they going to carry forward? I guess that storyline will be constructed today. It is going to be written today, and it will be in the history books after 24 hours. Not 24 hours, I guess, even less.
Yeah, it's pretty much even less. You're gonna need to follow our socials to see everything that we have updated there. But before we talk about the socials, we gotta talk a little bit more about the MVP standings here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly who have been the ones to tear up the server the most throughout the entirety of this tournament. But we're gonna be hitting on down at the brackets at the very beginning. But let's just see. When you look at the brackets, you can already see Team Valor, they fought through the thickest of thins to try and pull off a possible win against the side of Velocity. And Velocity, they nearly edged out the win though. When I was watching the game yesterday, I was amazed. The map of Icebox was so close. Velocity were on a 12. Team Valor, they were what? On a 3 or a 4 there, Salty? And then suddenly, when I came back, I saw the game going on to a 9. And then Team Valor, they were just not able to close out the round there. It was a final clutch from the side of Amaterasu that brought it all back onto their favor. But Team Valor, they're going to be hungry. And with the momentum that they had from yesterday, will it carry forward here to today? Going up against the side of Force One will be the real question. Force One, they also had hard fought victory, trying to keep themselves alive on the lower brackets, being able to win against True Rippers, one of the underdog teams that have been one of the unsung heroes throughout this entire tournament almost. They have been taken out, and Force One, they're going to be carrying the pressure that they had previously now into this matchup because Team Valor, notoriously, Team Valor are the team that have taken them down consistently throughout multiple other tournaments as well. Will they be able to go in for a proper revenge story here? And will they solidify themselves to be a roster that can go to the very top once again and possibly take not only the third spot for the side of Force One, but also possibly take the second or the first yourself?
Exactly, in Team Valor, they are also known as the King Slayers, aggressive. They can destroy the bigger teams out there for sure. They did lose out against Velocity Gaming 2-1, but they did pull out a
Also,
map in the best of 3.
yeah, it was a really close affair from these two teams, and that's one of the main things that I really want to highlight. Team Valor, they fought really hard to reach here. And also from the side of Force One, you can see up against EXO as well, they took one map, they just fell short on the third. But against the side of True Rippers, they were able to claw their way back. They took the third map in their favor and they were able to take down the side of True Rippers. That's how it all really does work out. That's how the side of Team Valor need to be playing these cards as well. I personally do believe both of these teams are very evenly matched when it comes down to the manpowers, when it comes down to the way that they play a lot of their matchups here. When we consider the side of Force One, they're going to be prepped up, they're going to be ready, and hey, the team intro is going to be ready as well. So let's head on over towards the team intro for the side of Force One here, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly who are going to be the players who are going to be cooking up the most amount of trouble on towards the side of the server. And when you consider Force One as a roster here, Salty, they don't need an introduction, but at the same time, this squad has gone through so many changes, but at the same time, when they do stick together, they can sing a beautiful song.
Exactly. I mean, you talked about changes, and we know that RVK isn't a part of the squad anymore, but he's still playing with the team. Now, we know that all these mid-season transfers, they cause problems. We've seen Team Enigma face problems because of it. But then again, they've been playing together for years now. Not years, but I guess they've been playing together for a long time. And Team Force One is a unit. We have always talked about them, how they can destroy anybody in the competition on a good day. And right at the center, right at the heart of it, we have RVK, probably one of the most talented players in the country right now. His crystal clear shots and his calm and composed nerves really help Team Force One win a lot of rounds out of death, honestly. And alongside Knight Rider as well as Cargod and everybody else who are there in the team, I feel like Force One as a unit is something to be very feared of.
Yeah, they're a very well-rounded squad, especially when you consider RBK being an absolute menace on those eco rounds. The main thing is that eco rounds in Valorant, a lot of the other teams, they don't really pay a lot of heat to it. They don't really care about the eco rounds. They just go in for rushes. They want to try and do as much economic damage as possible. And whoop if can do, the round's already over. We can go down to our bio. That's up. But the thing about RBK is that him with that sheriff can completely shut down any of the other squads if they do play their cards poorly. But hey, we're talking a lot about the side of RBK. Let's see if he's going to be the one on the player spotlight for the side of Force One here, ladies and gentlemen. And this player spotlight is powered by none other than AMD Ryzen Radiant. Sadly, it's not RBK, but hey, we just got another juggernaut on their side as well. It's going to be none other than the initiator player known as Shivy. And this guy, he's the brains of the entirety of Force One. And him being the brain, he's going to be the one who orchestrates the entirety of Force One themselves. The way that Chibi plays, it's not flashy. It's not something that you're going to be noticing all the time. He's always in the back. He's in the shadows. He's the controller. He's the mastermind of the entire team. And when he plays his cards properly, when he places his cards perfectly for his team to see, you know for a fact that his opposition has no way of trying to get out of his trap.
Exactly. I mean, honestly, in the player spot, like I was expecting something like a Knight Rider because he also has that position in the MVP standings as well, probably in the second or third spot. But Chivy, being the eye of the team, I guess the entirety of Team Force One, they look through Chivy's eyes. He gives the entire team intel. He gives the entire team information to work with. And when you said that he's the controller, I mean, he's not the controller. He
He is the
isn't going to
team
deploy,
controller.
but again, he's going to be like, giving all the information to the team and setting the team up for success in the rounds as well. So again, the KD ratio doesn't really I don't think the KD ratio or the kills, death, say stats, ACS will actually be the most important statistics for a player like this. I guess his overall gameplay, his playing style, and his contribution to the team is much more than just kills and deaths and assists.
Yeah, he does so much more to try and bring a lot of the advantages to his squad. But at the same time, for the side of Team Valor, how many more advantages can you bring, Shibi, to try and take down a juggernaut like this is going to be a real question. And talking about the side of Team Valor here, ladies and gentlemen, let's head on down over onto their team intro and see exactly what they're going to be cooking up for us when it comes down to the terms of their team and this squad, man. Salty. I don't know how many times we have talked about them. I don't know how many times I put the spotlight on players like Hunter, Strokey, Buster, Pasha, and Pixels. But these guys deserve it, primarily because this roster is so well-rounded as a team. They know exactly how to play with one another, and they know exactly when to pop off as well. And especially when you consider the amount of experience they have and also the young blood on their side, they're a complete package. There are the experienced players such as Hunter and Buster who can reign in the team, and there are young bloods like Pixel, Strokey, and Pasha who are there to add to that firepower. And also Bullet. We can't forget about Bullet. He's right here. He's playing today. So when it comes down to the fragging potential, Team Valor, they just have it all.
Absolutely. I feel like more than fragging power, I feel like there's one guy that is Pixels who's probably the best Astra in the competition. There might be
Don't forget
competition,
his Cypher.
but yet again, most of the times he's been pulling off the Astra and picking up controller roles as well. And I feel like he does it perfectly. A lot of times I've seen Team Valor play on the back of his support plays. Like he's one guy who's going to be the backbone of the team, while the rest of the players, they can be the fraggers or they can give the team the kills as well. So I feel like Team Valor, they have a very well-rounded unit. And overall, they will be a very good competition against Team Force One.
Yeah, moving on down the line here, Team Valor, they need to try and put up a really good fight though, because Force One, they're going to be bringing their A game, and if they want to go up against RBK and his Sheriff, then of course Shibi and his Brain, things are going to be pretty tough moving on down the line. And let's see who's going to be the one to rise up to the challenge from the side of Team Valor as we head on down over onto their player spotlight powered by AMD Ryzen Radiant here, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be none other than Strokey, the Reyna player, who is the lurker, who is the entry fragger, who is pretty much a fragging, one of the biggest fraggers from the side of Team Valor. The thing is, the way that he is able to get himself into different sidelines, the way he's able to sneak through a lot of the utility being placed by his opposition is one of the main reasons why Strokey is such a massive part of the side of Team Valor here. Primarily because he's not super flashy from time to time. He's very slow, he's very methodical, but when he gets into a proper position, you can count on him to pop at the bare minimum of 3 heads before he goes down. This is why Strokey is a crucial part for all of the plans against the side of Force One, because they have a very control-based playstyle. They rely a lot on their utility, and Strokey could just be that X factor that they need to break through all of their utility, sneak themselves into the backline, pop those 2 heads, and get the site for themselves as soon as the round starts.
Exactly. I mean, Strokey has always been the calm and composed tracker for the team. And you look at his KDA, I feel like the positive KDA just shows off for it. Of course, he needs to play a lot more to get a lot more kills. But then again, I feel like the kills are just the surface level stuff that Strokey pulls off. I feel like he brings on impact frags for the team, while the rest of the duelists, they're the ones who do the cleanup duty. When you said that the opposition right now for them, Team Force One, they have a very composed defensive setup. Very true for that. I feel like Strokey is going to be the one whose lingering presences will be the key, will be the X factor for Team Valor to really displace and disperse a defensive setup and probably take out an opening. I think he might be pulling off the role for the lurker. He might actually be trying to brute force and help his team brute force their way into side as well with his entry fragging. He can do both the job and he can pull both of them perfectly. It's just a matter of time we understand what he actually does in game. But apart from that, considering his past performances, this man is a fragging powerhouse. He's like a package. He can do everything which involves clicking heads.
Yeah, that's exactly what you really want to do, especially when it comes down to the game of Valorant. And when you are playing Reyna as well, you going on a lurk, you going on an entry, anything is pretty much possible. And when you consider the meta shifting so heavily, especially on maps like Haven, where Reyna is really good if you use her as a pseudo lurker and then use her for an entry after you get that first initial pick, it does wonders throughout the entire game. And Strokey, he could just be the one who can pull off something incredible. And speaking of the map of Haven, we don't know what maps we're going to be going into. Haven should be there as well. So let's head on over to the map video screen, ladies and gentlemen, and see exactly what the teams have picked up for us. Haven's going to be the second map, not the first one. I tried to go in for a little bit of a prediction play, Salty. Didn't really work out in my favor, but still, Ascend being at the very top here, this is also another map that can play similarly to the side of Haven when it comes down to the lurks, but it's a lot more difficult to pull off lurks completely if you don't have a lot more information being spread all across the map here. Let's just see what we can expect, because Team Valor, they're in a pretty good spot on the map of Ascent, but at the same time, Force One, the defense here is really, really, really potent. And the fact that they have the defensive side right off the get-go, I do believe that Force One, they could just take it all away if and only if they're able to get a 9-3 scoreline. God forbid, I'm saying 9-3 scoreline. It's fine. If they get a 9-3 scoreline, Force One should be able to take this one away.
True that. I feel like the map of Veto is pretty default Ascent, Haven, and Split. Nothing really flashy, nothing really different, nothing really surprising over there. But Team Force One, the fact that they have Haven in their books, it's almost certain to say that they are going to win this map, if not Team Valor do something extraordinary. Again, Ascent and Split are very 50-50 maps, according to my opinion, and both the teams will have a fair chance. But then again, if Force One can pull off a good performance in the map of Ascent, and Haven being the second map of the day, I wouldn't be surprised if this goes on to a 2-0.
It's gonna be questionable though, because when you consider Force One being on Haven, they have so much more strategic prowess on this map in particular.
Yeah.
Team Valor, they struggle here a lot. We've seen them lose out to a lot of the other rosters on this map in particular. They don't have the strongest holds, and they do rely on their fragging power to try and get them through the map of Haven quite consistently. But when you consider the map of Ascent, where fragging power is a lot more important, we see a lot more strategic prowess from the side of Team Valor, being able to slow down their pushes mid-round. So mid-round calls are good. The early game is good. The late game is also really strong. And it's all about the phases on the map of Ascent. You need to understand how to play the late game. You need to understand how to play the mid game. The mid game, I would say, is the most crucial part of Ascent, because the late game, you can just go in for proper holds. It's all about the close plans. It's all about how you try and go in for the trades. That's that. But the thing about the mid game is that on Ascent, if you don't have proper control on the different avenues of the map, for example, B main, A main, or even the mid side, then you're going to be in a pretty big ditch. You don't know where your oppositions are. Your opposition could be here on towards the side of Garden. They could be Heaven. They could be A main. Someone could be flanking you from God knows where, and an Omen could be teleported underside of Hell, and you don't have no idea about it. That's the thing about Haven. It's very unpredictable and quite predictable at the same time. You don't know what your opponent can do if they have proper control all across the map. And I'm really hoping that Team Valor, they take that into account and they play the mid rounds properly. I've seen Team Valor just going for full-scale rushes on towards the side of B main. They haven't stopped for a single second, and they will keep on going B, keep on going A, until they break through the defense in some way, shape, or form. But against the side of Force One, that's not going to be working out for you, especially when players like RVK are the ones holding down on the side. If they're hunkering down there, trying to break through that defense will be a miracle and a half for them to try and do. Because RVK, he doesn't miss his shots, and he knows exactly how to get into the heads of his oppositions by placing his cyber cages and also his tripwires in positions that the side of Team Valor, they have no way of predicting.
Exactly, and also the fact that Shivi will be present. You mentioned that Team Valor will love to try and YOLO rush their way into the B side, but then Shivi's presence is going to be there as well. I mean, the amount of utility that the Sova can deploy over there, as well as Shivi bringing up the machine guns, the Ares or the Odin over there, can also be a very potent threat to Team Valor's existence on the map of Ascent. And that's what I said. Team Force One, their defense is really, really strong, and they start on Ascent on the defensive side of things, which gives them an early lead, almost mentally, right? And that can work in their favor. And if that does work in their favor, then Haven should automatically be in their books, because you said that they have a lot more strategies on Haven. That is what you need in a map like this. It's a big map. There are a lot of possibilities. There are a lot of different opportunities to attack, to defend as well. It's not easy to defend on the map of Haven. You have to split your yourselves up very, very thin, right? And when the attacking team does something predictable, which I don't expect Team Valor to do, but then again, considering the past history, they might be doing that. Then there comes the problem, and Team F1, they can really, really stop you in your tracks. That is the reason why we talked about Haven being Team Force One's favor, but then Ascent is really the question mark right now. If Team Valor can pull off something different, if they can mix themselves up perfectly, try different avenues, just like you mentioned, try A main, try A shot, try pinching them from mid as well, try to separate Force One defense and try to cut them in half, probably. That is going to be your best bet. That's going to be your best chance of winning this map. Because without that, this should be a 2-0 in my eyes, just like I said. I don't see this best of 3 going towards split, because Force One, they've been in good form. They defeated True Rippers recently. Right now against Team Valor, it's going to be some interesting stuff, because Team Valor also coming from taking away a map against Team Velocity Gaming, which isn't really an easy feat.
That's the thing. Both of these teams, they have gone through a lot of hardships to try and get down here. Especially from the side of Team Force One, they took a pretty tough loss against EXO. But at the same time, they played a lot more matches as well in comparison to the side of Team Valor. And also another thing that you need to consider here, ladies and gentlemen, is the timing. This is an early morning game. The teams, they need to be prepped up. They need to be warmed up and ready to go in for these fights. It's not a late in the afternoon match. So all of these factors are going to add up. Which of these teams have a lot more consistency? Which of these teams are much more of the esports athletes here? And I personally do believe that the experience from the side thing that gives them the advantage here. But don't really worry about it, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to be setting up the games for you in just a little bit. It's just going to take a little while longer. We're going to be going into a short break, and we're going to be back with the real shortly for the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant. I'll catch you all in just a little.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing, from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen. The teams are prepped up. They're going to be ready, and we are back on the caster's desk with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, as the teams are prepped up and ready. And map number 1 is on the cards here, Salty. I'm really excited because Team Valor versus Force One is a match that we've been waiting for a pretty long time, especially when you consider these two teams being very close to one another. We've been talking about this a lot when we were still at the pre-show segment and the analyst segment here. And now with the game coming up soon enough, I want your thoughts. Are we possibly going to be seeing a breach on the map of Ascent? Because it feels like Breach has been making an uproar throughout the entire community for every single map. Breach is being picked up in
Yeah.
Haven as well. Normally, where Sky and Sova were the much more dominant pickups, and now that Breach is there, I don't think that Breach is going to shy away from Ascent as well. It can work, but it's a lot more difficult to do. But a lot of the other Korean teams have been making the Breach work out in Ascent. But it's a lot more iffy, especially when you have a character like Sky still on the cards.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like a Sky is probably the perfect child between a Sova and a Breach, having flashes as well as some sort of information gathering utility, right? But then Breach on the map of Ascent doesn't really surprise me at all, because we've seen that happen in the past. We can see that happen here as well. Especially if a team goes in with a double initiator composition, a Breach makes an entry, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But Breach definitely shouldn't be a single initiator composition. If a team goes forward with a single initiator and double duelist composition, there's no way Breach makes an entry, because I think Breach is a very powerful agent when used properly. But then there's always the debate on which agent do you trade out to get Breach in. What are your thoughts, Aggressive?
In my eyes, I would say that giving up on the second duelist is not a bad thing. In general, I would never really say this. I am a massive simp for Phoenix. Having Phoenix on this map just adds a lot more dynamic and adds a lot more flavor to a lot of your different strategies. And that's exactly what the side of Reckoning have been doing throughout their entire run in this gauntlet. Playing Phoenix on Ascend, on Bond Depth, he has been the one to tear through a lot of these other teams. And that's one of the reasons why Ascent is one of their strongest maps as well. But the thing is, Phoenix is very difficult to get a lot of value out of because of how self-proficient you have to be, knowing when to use your running back, knowing where to use your hot hands, and knowing the timing of every single flash that you throw. It's crucial to get a lot of value out of that Phoenix. If you're not able to get value in the first 4 rounds of the entire game, you're not going to be able to get any form of value throughout the rest of the game as well. Because Phoenix is a character, you need to hit the ground running. Otherwise, you're just not going to be able to find a lot throughout the entire game. It's all about the momentum with that character. Yes, he adds a lot of control, he adds a lot of utility, but it's a lot more difficult to get a lot of use out of him. But the thing is, Breach is a thing that we can expect from them, but at the same time, double initiator based composition tends to lean more towards the side of the Sky because of the ease of use. If you have a
Exactly.
Breach is a lot more difficult to get a lot of value out of because you need a lot more communication in comparison to the Sky. You need to know when to do your flashes. You need to tell your teammates when to do your flashes. Plus, when you're flashing with a Breach, you're a lot more exposed. In comparison to the Sky, you can flash around the corner and still be safe. But with Breach, yeah, sometimes you're just going to die out randomly to a random shock dart around the corner that you didn't even expect was being thrown at you.
Exactly. I mean, for sure, it kind of becomes a little one dimensional, and that is one of the reasons why in a double initial composition we see skies as well as Sova. Because then again, you have a lot more variety. You have the flashes to work with, just like you mentioned. You have an information gathering utility in the form of a dog, which might actually help you late in the round. Possibly when the owl drone has been completely destroyed, you still have a dog to get some extra information out of a particular site, or probably late in the round when you want to explore the mid avenue or something like that. You also have your healing abilities as well, right? So the team gets helped with this guy much more and can be used in a variety of situations. And when I talked about a double initiator composition and bringing Breach in the lineup, the possibility that I was thinking about is always you have to take out a duelist, because you cannot go with like a double duelist and a double initiator. You have to use single duelist. Possibly will be the Jet, or might be the Phoenix himself, might be Reyna, Raze,
Yeah.
according to your comfort. But then again, you have to imagine that there has to be a KJ. There has to be there might be a Sage as well. A lot of teams like to use the mid wall as well as the B wall. Sometimes they love to use the Sage wall in different parts of the map itself, and that helps you a lot in a lot of different ways. So having all of those agents stacked up in a 5-man lineup, it's really tough. I wish if Riot can do something, we can possibly, let the agents sit tighter so that we can fix in 6 agents instead of 5. That
No,
would be
no, no,
good.
no, 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 no. We are not going to 6 agents. I do not want to deal with a Killjoy, Cypher, and a Sage on the same team. There's a wall, there's a slow, there's a turret, there's a alarm bot, there's a nanoswarm, and there's a Cypher trap somewhere sitting inside of the side that I need to clear. I do not want to deal with that. If there are 6 agents, I'm just going to slowly walk away from Valorant and just start playing League of Legends in the I'm gonna do that. I'm a very big I'm a hater for League of Legends, but if that happens, I'm gonna slowly walk away, start playing a MOBA. That's it. But moving on down the line from that, ladies and gentlemen. For now, though, those 6 agents are gonna be happening. It's just gonna be those 5 that we know and love, and we're gonna be staying for that. But double initiator is gonna be on the cards. I'm pretty sure that both of these teams, they are the most comfortable with the double initiators. They're not gonna be shifting away from that. But the real question is, who will it be? Will it be that? Will it be the Sky? Will it be that Breach who takes the role of the second initiator? Or are we going to be seeing a single initiator based composition with a single sentinel and 2 duelists? And now the real question is, what will the duelist be? We know for a fact that Strokey, if he picks up the duelist, it is going to be that Reyna. There's no way around it. Reyna is going to be the thing that picks up every single time, no changes whatsoever. But on the opposite side, we have from the side of Force One, they are a team that can play the double initiator lineup really well. But are they going to be going in for it? Because Rafa is the main person that I always look to play that Sky when he is in a pinch, to play that Sky when he needs to go in for that second initiator. But at the same time, Rafa's full potential is not unlocked there. He normally likes to play the Raze on the map of Ascent. Will he be going in for much more of those fun picks, much more of those comfort, or will he be completely going towards the side of meta here? Because they need to dig deep and they need to find something that works for them right here and right now, because map number 1 is a very crucial one for them, because if they're able to take this map away from the side of Team Valor by maybe playing towards the meta or maybe playing towards the much more comfortable side that they have, it should give them the edge that they need to push themselves forward. We don't know just yet here, ladies and gentlemen. So I want your thoughts, Salty. Do you think that we're going to be seeing a Raze pickup coming on down through? Because Raze as a character is something that I really hated on this map, but if they're running a double initiative, I think that I could get behind.
Honestly, I love the character of Raze because I feel like it's a little passive as a duelist. You can get some information with the boom bot as well. You can deal damage with it as well. And look at this. We are into the agent selection, ladies and gentlemen, after a lot of wait. Force One versus Team Valor. And we see a Sova and an Astra pick right at the bat. Pasha Sahil is going to be the Astra. Buster has confirmed his pick to be the Phoenix. On the other side, we have interesting stuff happening. We have Force One. Rafa, just like you mentioned, is going to be going for his comfort pick on Raze. We have Shivi on Sova, no surprise there. Knight Rider on the Jet. RVK is going to pick up the KJ, and Scargod is hovering over the Astra. No surprises on either side. It's just a difference between a Phoenix and a Raze. A double initiate, a double duelist, and single initiator composition from both sides. I guess all the theory crafting, all the conversations of Sky versus Breach has just been washed off, and we're gonna go in with the old meta, the old confirmed meta: 2 duelists, 1 initiator, and the rest controllers and sentinels to work with. I feel like it works. It's like a charm. It works every time if you know how to use it, and it ages like fine wine.
Yeah, these teams, they know exactly how to play it. And hey, as more time passes, they're just going to be playing a bit better and better moving on down the line here. That's exactly what you want. You shouldn't really be worrying about the matchups in general. You should just be warming yourself up. You just got to be ready, because the composition that they have right now here is a comp that they can run pretty much easily. They don't have to worry about it. They don't have to overthink it. It's not rocket science. So a lot of the strategies that they are going to be trying to pull here, it's all systematic. It's all slow. It's all steady plays from them. But the thing is, as of right now, they need to try something a little bit more different, because the Phoenix allows you to be very systematic, but at the same time, it doesn't allow you to be as good as you could possibly get.
Things kick off with Team Force One being on the defense. We talked about this earlier. You can see the defensive setup is really good. They're already starting to make a presence felt. Buster is already towards Joe's area as well. But I love this thing, honestly. Team Force 1, they're just holding back. They're just holding back their positions and allowing Team Valor to just push in as much as possible. They're sitting in deep, taking a lot of damage. But then as soon as the Team Valor start funneling inside the side, I guess a lot of kills are going to come in. And this is exactly where Team Valor shine, because look at all the kills. Team Force 1, they were just sitting back, waiting for them to come in. And when they came in with a bang. It's like a Bollywood entry. Strokey finds the kill onto Rafa. RBK brings one back, but that's about it.
They're just not going to be able to find it here. RBK is stuck between a rock and a hard place. Classic with only 7 bullets. As soon as he drops down, they heard the sound. They know exactly where he is. And oh! RBK, a flick of the wrist. And is your wrist okay, my man? Do I need to call an ambulance for you? Because that was a good one and a bone cracking flick as well. With that, RBK, he exerted his dominance on towards the face of Buster. Hey, he's got to be feeling that one for sure.
Definitely, he's going to be feeling it. But again, I mean, I love the fact that Team Valor, they try and explore in the mid avenues way too much. Right at the bat, they try and push up with Buster being the front liner. Team Force 1, they did good stuff over there as well. I mean, you look at things. They try and hold back as much as possible, deny them real estate. They do give them real estate, but then it's not much map control on the back of it. Nitride being completely blinded by this Nebula here, and his position will be revealed by the outro. They have friends in mid. Bullet through the smoke is going to find Nitride. A 1 kill right at the bat. Team Valor once again initiate that man advantage. Buster getting another one. They have complete control over the side A, and there's nobody to defend it. 3 players with pistols isn't really going to be that big of a problem, but the spike isn't here.
What? What? Did he just walk right past him and he's still... Oh, okay, that just happens. It's fine, don't really worry about it. The shorty's not gonna get a lot of value. Buster on the back is gonna be the one to take down RBK. And hey, it hurts sometimes, but I guess they can make it work. Shivi's last person remaining. What can you do here? Shivi's just waiting. He's just chilling. He's holding it right by the drain. And he's like, yeah, they're gonna come to me, man. Don't really worry about it. Even if I die, my blood's gonna go straight into the drain.
The drain might actually be the pathway to the underworld, but then Buster.
Oh.
Yeah, we'll find the kill, thankfully. Thankfully, after a lot of bullets expended. 4th kill for Buster. But again, it was an eco round for Team Force 1 to work with, so no problems over there. I feel like they can make a comeback with this full buy round. But as of yet, one pattern does emerge aggressive. And that is the fact that Team Force 1, they're happy to give Team Valor all the real estate in the world, and they're happy to go for the retakes. In the first round as well, they were holding back. In the second round as well, they didn't really put up a lot of fighting towards the A side. Instead, I mean, for sure they didn't have weapons to put up a fight, but then yeah, that was about it. That was the setup. I really want to see what they can pull off this time around. I can see a lot of Keisha utility being dumped in the garden area as well. Beautiful shot from Nitride, and he gets away with it. He does take in a lot of damage, but then he's still fine. He's still alive and kicking.
He's just going to be able to rotate, get himself into a better position, and just try to find another possible shot onto his opposition here. Strokey is on a very beautiful lurk, and Nitride is going to keep survive here. He has such a good spot, but Strokey, he's not going to fully clear him. Strokey, he lazy cleared that corner, and that's going to hurt a lot here. Lurker is down as well. They have no control all across the map. RBK swings around the corner. It's going to be able to shut down Bullet as well. And a flawless round on the cards here, ladies and gentlemen, for the side of Team Valor.
Flawless.
Yeah, it's as far as for the side of Team Force 1. And with that, it's going to be Rafa with one, Scargod with another, shutting everyone down here. 1 and 2 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. And another clean round being taken away by the side of Force 1. This was a very clean round to get-go, you have to say.
I should probably play some
exactly. I mean, I love the way how beautifully
do.
Nitride repositioned himself, right? He knew that there are going to be players who are going to be funneling in from the mid channel. After the first pick, there was going to be another one, and yes, that prediction was correct. It wasn't really a prediction at first game sense, because he knew that in the first 2 rounds there were a lot of players trying to explore that avenue. They haven't really proved forth their way in the side. The B side though, there is an ultimate happening. Run it back already executed, but 3 players towards the A side. It's interesting what Team Valor is trying to pull off, and Rafa already in a very aggressive position. He spots down Strokey, but Strokey's going to win the duel. Oh, a 1-man advantage for Team Valor to work with, and they already have a lot of real estate to work with. The spike instantly goes towards the B side as reinforcements start to come in. It's going to be Nitride, and he's going to get the first frag. Beautiful stuff.
close though right there, man. Oh, Jimmy's gonna pick out. Jimmy's gonna be able to take out 2 in some way, shape, or form. He had no business getting that second kill. He did not get traded, and now it's all up to Stroke. He's around the corner. He's gonna be able to spot on one player, but the shots are just not gonna be connecting. Nitro instead was way quicker on that trigger. 2-2 on the scorecards here. And now with the buy round coming on down through from the side of Valor being taken out as well here, they're gonna be forced onto an eagle, Salty. And actually, no, they're not going to be forced onto an eagle. They still have enough for a buy. Oh.
It's a semi-buy of sorts with 3 half shields and 1 Spectre to work with. And I guess it's fine. They're still going in for a gamble. They don't really want to give in to the pressure that has come in from Team Force 1. Of course, it would mean like a surrender flag. It would mean like a white flag. But of course, Buster and his presence. There's going to be Knight Rider's problems and he needs to fall back. Time and time again, they've tried to get as much real estate as they want in mid. They haven't really explored the A main and the B main corridor, just like I mentioned in the last round. But this hasn't really worked, especially after the first round, has it?
It's not as free as they would have expected it to be. They want to push mid, they want to take control there, but the thing is, when they try to take control over towards the side of mid, they're leaving the other sidelines open, and now RBK is going to be going in for his own engagement bullet. Going for a couple of pop shots, and RBK, he needs to get out of this angle. He cannot stay here for long, but the grab UI is so beautiful. And Scargod's going to be able to take down Buster. That's the first initial kill, that's all that they needed. And now without Buster, they don't have flashes. How are they going to make this work? They're going to be going in for a hard push. Bullet's going to be able to get a dig down on the side of Jimmy, but that's all that he's going to get. A flawless run was on the cards, but that's just not going to happen. So he's going to be good for 1 kill, but Scargod with it. Scarpeak is going to be good for his third instead. 3-2 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. Now, the economy for the side of Team Valor, it's down in the dumpsters. They need to go in for a save here. Otherwise, they go in for another force. It's going to end really badly for them.
They probably cannot go in for force. I'm not really sure. They wouldn't even get half shields this time, even if they try, and most of them wouldn't be able to get rifles for themselves. Nonetheless, they're going all with sheriffs this time, and I really want to see a different attacking setup. I really want to see them do something different this time, and all 4 of them huddling up outside the A main corridor. 2 of them trying to possibly explore the A-shot region. Scargod with a good spray down onto Bullet, gets 1 frag and tries to buy as much time for his team as possible. Once again, Team Valor looking to go towards the mid avenue and instantly will get spotted. They have 3 ultimates available with the Astral Divide, the Jet Knives, as well as the Lockdown. Now, talking about the Jet Knives, a lot of Jet mains have had problems with this new update, right? They are still trying to get used to this, do the left click refresh. I mean, with the right click kill, it's basically done and dusted. We have frags left and right, but then again, we know that the frags are going to come in on the side of Team Force 1 because, of course, they have the weaponry. He's going to peek, and he's going to get taken down as well. Easy stuff for RVK. Nothing too flashy over there. Hunter gets spotted for sure, and Nitro is going to be the one who will put a bullet to his brain.
Yeah, a little bit of mind game being played by Shivy against his twin brother, Hunter. And with that, the Hunter is going to be the one to get hunted here by Knight Rider. Bullet to the skull, sent back home. And with that, 4-2 on the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen. They need to make a decision. They need to make a play right here and right now. Otherwise, if the momentum gets out of their hand way too heavily here, side of Team Valor, being a very momentum-based team, could just fall short. They could just get taken down. And now, ladies and gentlemen, they need to make a choice. They need to either give up the fact that they cannot get the mid control, just walk away from it, and go in for a large-scale push where they know they can actually take over this A side. Bullet though, playing with fire, no for back up. Scarlet's right on the corner, but Scarlet nearly gets pulled in. So he's gonna be able to get out, but now with the attacker side of Killjoy Ultimate being placed down, they have a way of getting themselves into the side, but is it gonna be enough? Is gonna be a question.
Shot that.
For sure, Knight Rider is still holding his position, and he will be getting away with the Scargod. Does need some support. Look, gets the first frag, but Shivy's gonna get the trade. Knight Rider actually finds another one. 3 players. Taking them already in this round. They're struggling for sure. Hunter as well as the rest of the players from Team Valor. They have found so much real estate in the side, and Team Force 1, they will be forced in for a retake, but the lockdown does come in. No Hunter's free to disable it. Shivy gets another good frag. Style brings one back. Scargod with Side, and it's a 1v2. This is always going to be Team Force 1 when Scargod as well as Shivy, both of them PQ simultaneously in a 2v1 situation, but with the spike being diffused comfortably, Team Force 1 have nothing to worry about. This was beautifully executed. I feel like both Valor as well as Team Force 1 did well. Team Force 1 did well because they knew they had a lockdown under control. They had their own lockdown to actually resist the other lockdown. They perfectly just timed it to perfect. I mean, you look at this, right? The attackers Team Valor, they deploy the full lockdown first. They get the plant down. They get a few kills in the back of it, but they don't really panic. Team Force 1, they don't panic because they know that once the plant goes down, the lockdown is going to disperse the close positions, and they don't have Hunter's Fury available. Now they have. In the previous round, they didn't. And that was a problem, and they had no answers to it.
The way that they're able to switch up all of their tactics on the fly like this, and the way that they're able to get a lot of these trades here as well, Salty, that's what I really want to highlight. Do you see the trade potential from the side of Force 1? They know exactly where to position themselves. They know exactly when to swing the corners that will give their teammates the best possible advantage. Scargod, though, he's been consistently playing with fire by trying to go in for peaks like that. But hey, if it works out, if you're not going to die from it, I don't have anything against it. Just, my man, play it slow. I don't want to become a heart patient at the age of 22.
For sure. I mean, look at the buy from Team Valor. They have a hero Vandal buy. Night Rider for sure is walking really off. Not the best choice, but then again, he's gonna find Strokey comfortably. That is one major weapon taken down already. And Hunter, I don't think he will be able to do much over there with his pistol, but then again, you cannot really take away. They have 3 ultimates to work with. We know that. We have the Jet Knives deployed already. We have the Hunter's Fury Enigmas, or rather Force 1's RVK, pardon me, for that is gonna find 3. They're all gonna find 3 kills together. Rafa and Scargod actually act up on it as well. Hunter, can he pull off? Can he pull off a Silver Diff right there? Aggressive.
30 seconds left.
Oh, he really did, because that shot guard could have just taken him out, but Night Rider slaps him in the body with a bullet from that operator. 6-2 on the scorecards, and Force 1, a very dominant early side for them, and it's kind of expected. The defensive side on this map in particular is known to be an iron wall that not even the side of Global and Velocity in some cases have not been able to take over when it comes down to this map in particular. They know exactly how to hold the sides, and they have a very strong iron grip with it. But the thing is, we've been seeing a very silent game from Buster. He has not really been performing as much as we'd have expected. He gets 1 kill, but he's not the usual self-sufficient fragger that we know him to be. That's right, gets caught out in a very bad situation.
RVK in position. I guess the Hunter's Fury early investment from Team Force 1 wants to clear out all those default angles, but then there's no commitment from Team Valor yet. The spike is still in mid. They're still trying to explore that A-shot area. Here comes a running back. Buster will try and gain a lot more space, but then look at this beautiful deployment of the gravity well. He did get a frag onto RVK, but I guess the way Scargod held him back, that was brilliant, and he comes in from mid as well. I don't think Team Valor is going to expect that. Strokey, oh no, he has been unchecked. This could be problematic. Oh my god, Scargod does not check Strokey, and Strokey finds the frag. Beautiful stuff by Team Valor. Right there, Rafa does have the showstopper to work with, but then 2v4 is not going to be easy. Finds a wall bang onto Buster, and here comes the party. The showstopper does nothing for him, but the Facial actually does. And here comes a Phantom actually sings songs of death. Partial side with 17 HP. This can be a very low HP 1v1. He wins it. Oh my god, Team Force 1. This team, they're not under pressure. They're absolutely not under pressure. But then I have to credit Scargod on how he really aided his team over there. In spite of being taken down without a frag, his timing of his utility was pure perfect. That Buster ultimate could have really changed the course of the round, aggressive, but that didn't happen because of it. For sure, he did 1 kill, but the denial of the real estate, the denial of that entry into sight was all that Team Force 1 needed.
That was very crucial for them, but at the same time, Rafa, man, this guy pulls out miracles out of absolutely nowhere. If anyone can make that race work on this map, it has to be Rafa. Consistency is key in Knight Rider. He spotted out the legs, but he's just not going to be able to spot out the shot on the body. Misses out on a pretty important shot. If he took out that Astra, things would have gone very differently here. And this round also still on the cards here for their side. Rafa pulled up 4K in the last round, but now it's gonna be the side of Team Valor who needs to pull off a 4K for themselves as well. This is an eco round, but at the same time here, Salty, they need to win this eco. They don't have any more rounds to go. They need to pull off a miracle here, otherwise they're just gone. What do they do here? The side control is being established. There's 2 players holding inside of the side. The shot is just gonna be as good. It's gonna be Star Wars for that stage. He's gonna be good for a second. He's gonna be good for a third. He is just an absolutely cold-blooded killer from the back of Boathouse. Being able to shut down every single player who's rushing him down from Speedway like that. The side of Force 1, there are a literal avalanche that are going out of control, and this is a good plan from the side of Team Valor. They went for the pause here, but the thing is, Salty, after taking the pause a little bit too late, if they took the pause at something like 5-2, it would have been a lot more better for them.
For sure. I mean, Team Valor, they haven't really mixed up their approach way too much, right? They try and establish a little bit of presence in the A main and the B main territory. But then Team Force 1, they know exactly that few players, at least 2 players, are always going to come in from mid. And if not mid, they're going to come in from A shot. This has been the general tactic. And you can fight off that tactic if you know exactly what Team Valor is going to do, right? They have been predictable. They are being read like an open book. And Force 1, considering the defensive setup, you talked about an iron wall. I feel like, breaking that iron wall is possible if you are an unstoppable force. But then Team Valor aren't being one right now. 8-2 the score line, and Team Force 1, they aren't breaking a sweat at this point. I feel like they're just consistent. They're consistently doing their job. All the players are getting their frags. They're always getting their kills. And since Ascent is kind of a momentum-heavy map, Team Force 1, they have all of it, right? It's really hard to beat the economy at this point, because every time you go for a buy and Team Force 1 shuts you down, you have to go for an eco once again. So there's no way you can actually break this avalanche apart, just like you mentioned, without pulling off a magnificent, surprising performance, I would say. And that is something which I expect to come right here. Bullet will be the architect of it. We have the lockdown available as well. We have the Hunter's Fury. Team Valor, they have a lot of utility, and they are already establishing their presence inside.
It's gonna be dangerous, but Knight Rider's not gonna miss that shot. He's just gonna go in for it. He's going in for another one. Nearly gets caught out by the hot hands, getting burned to a crisp, but he's just gonna be able to survive. He's just gonna be able to live. The Fool's gonna be the one to take down Hunter as well with the quick scope. Knight Rider, you gotta stop. RBK on the back is gonna be able to shut down another one as well. That's winning. He's just going for it. RBK's gonna be able to take the Pasha. This push, the side hold that they had, the side that they were trying to control, this is their favor, and Polo Buster has nothing to do here. What can he do against 5 angry members of the side of Force 1? 9-2 on the scorecards here.
Flawless.
It feels like this pause that they took didn't help them whatsoever.
For sure, they did get entry in the
Last
side,
round
right?
in
They
the
deployed the
half.
lockdown, and that was their plan, to deploy the lockdown and buy some space for them. They did get it. They did get the entry into site on the back of that lockdown, but then after that, they were denied the time to get into postman positions. Knight Rider with his ops and shenanigans. I mean, you look at that. I mean, both the frags were extraordinary, right? The fact that he flicked on the bullet was absolutely inhuman. He positioned himself perfectly, get another frag on the Sova as well, which was Hunter. And exactly, the mix-up. And then there were 3 players in the back lines. They were coming in for a backstab. It's absolutely insane. And once again, Team Force 1, Team Valor, they are in a very weird spot. Hunter does get one with the Hunter's Fury, but Shivy is going to shut down Buster and even things up. You can already see the Team Force 1, they're quite low HP, because you look at Shivy and he's basically like barely surviving there, but he does have some utility which can help the rest of the team up. Rafa
Okay, Rafa.
spots 2 players, but instantly gets taken down by bullets. This can be devastating for them. And here comes the Astral Divide. This is their last
Spike
resort. This is
planted.
their insurance policy to get this round for them. 9-3. We know what 9-3 can cost you. And Shivy destroys it. Nanoswap perfectly, precise with it, but then they don't really have a lot of utility to actually break this defense apart. They do have some stars from Skargon, and if he can create some magic here, he can probably create a difference. He does have the Astral Divide to work with as well. Shivy, beautiful stuff. Knight Rider gets another frag, but Knight Rider gets 2 there. Here comes the Blades. It's a 1v2 right now. He will try and tap in, try and beat up Pasha, but he knows exactly where the plant is. The right click is imminent. Oh my god, he actually goes for the left click. This can be problematic. They won't go.
No, they won.
Go for the defuse.
No time.
Yeah.
Oh, this is beautiful for Pasha, man. He just played mind games with Knight Rider, and this is how you take a loss. And same time, remember what I was saying before during the pre-show?
Switching sides.
Look at the score line.
93. I mean,
God forbid, let the curse not happen here for the side of Force One. But at the same time, hey, whenever I'm casting a game or whenever Assassin casting a game, somehow the curse always had 3 and access.
bro, I mean, you look at what happened, right? All the jet mains have been mentally tormented at this point to not use the right click. They don't want to use the right click anymore because the blades just won't refresh, right? And the left click,
But it's a lot more consistent now. You can get 1 kill with
for
it. Still
sure,
really
but you get only 1 kill where you could have gotten 5. You see, the drawbacks are huge and the pros are not that much. And that is one of the reasons why all these players are going for left clicks and they're missing most of their shots, which they would hit 9 times out of 10 in a good day. That could have been a round for Team Force 1 had Nitrider gone for the right click instead of the left click. He misses the shot, gives away the time pass for Sahil to get the frag as well as dance around that corner. And that just gives away the round. We move on to the next half where RVK starts things off with taking down Bullet. That's 1 player down already. Team Force 1, they look strong. Scargod has this huge presence in mid. And once again, Team Force 1 doing something which Team Valor did similarly, but they're not actually pushing towards side. Instead, they're waiting for Team Valor to respond and play on the backs of it. Nitrider sneaking up from garage. Hunter, he gets 2, but Shivy actually takes him down.
RVK? We don't talk about that. We just don't talk about that. We walk away from it very slowly. We go inside of the side when we just go in for a plan. And now Strokey, he's gonna go slap RVK in the face. But will he be able to slap Scargod in the face? It's just not gonna happen. The classic right clicks are gonna be good for 1 kill like that on the reverse, but it's just not gonna be good for the second there. But at the same time, RVK, my man, it's alright. You got a bone-breaking flick on towards the face of Buster during the first initial round, so it's understandable. And I know that your wrist is hurting and you didn't whiff all of those shots intentionally.
For sure, but then, I mean, I love what Team Force 1 is pulling off, right? Every single round, they're being consistent, they're being unpredictable, which Team Valor couldn't really do exactly, right? They for sure were good in trying to explore the mid. Their mentality as well as the thought process was decent, but then the execution wasn't really that good, aggressive.
It's been just a little bit more better for them at the bare minimum, but it's just not gonna happen. But Buster, it's just so clean, it's just so crispy, especially when he has that sheriff inside. He's a dangerous force to be reckoned with, but no one's gonna be peeking him, not anymore. After that first initial kill, they know they cannot contest market anymore. They need to walk away from it slowly and try to head their way down towards that A side. Shivy's causing a lot of noise on towards the side of B, and that's gonna give them some avenues to work with them now. With the positions already being found out, I do believe that this will be a rotation down towards the B side on from the side of Spawn. They just need 1 kill. Buster's actually gonna be good for a second. They're gonna be making that push happen, and it is gonna be Rafa leading the charge. He's winning out. That's gonna be his first kill. He's looking for 1 more. It's just not gonna be okay. And now Buster, he's gonna be going sneaky peeky like, but the shots are just not gonna be good for hits and the push. He's looking for 1 kill. He's looking for 1 more, but RVK's gonna be the one to shut everything down here. Rafa, he's still on the lurk. He's still on the flat. He's gonna be able to take down Hunter. Last kill remaining. It's all up to Bullets to try and bring something over, but Rafa, he is not gonna be giving anything away to him. 4K for Rafa, and a 4K to bring everything back in their favor. 11 and 3 on the scorecards right now, ladies and gentlemen, and with that, it's gonna be a good one for them.
Yeah,
They're
for
at the
sure.
11th round, and now just look at the buys, man. Side of Team Valor, they have nothing.
Yeah, I mean, sheriffs to work with and a judge with a light shield. I mean, Bullet is trying to go for hard buy here, but I'm not really sure if it's gonna pay him dividends because the rest of team Force 1, they are trying to go for a bonus at this point. Scargod does have Phantom to work with as well, and Buster knows exactly where Buster is, so I guess they won't try and contest Garden this time because last time they got a big slap from him. That was like a knockout punch. Bullet. This can be devastating. Oh no, Nitrider!
He just knew, man. He just knew. Oh, Nitrider, he just
Last
knew
player
himself back.
standing.
He just jiggle it out and he just pop it heads like it's nobody's business. He wants to end this map and he wants to send the side of Team Valor home pack, and it's gonna be
Oh no,
It's not going to the Mad Bad. Pasha is the last one alive. He's feeling RBKs just get toyed with. RBKs like, yeah, you want to kill me, just come in for me. But my teammates, they're going to back me up in a matter of seconds. And with that, 12 and 3 on the scorecards here. No more buys to work with for the side of Team Valor whatsoever. They went in for a fourth the last round, and it's justified. They needed to go in for that fourth. They couldn't save it. And now, once again, they're being forced onto a fourth round. They have some buys to work with at the bare minimum, but how much are these buys going to help? Bullet being forced onto a naked Vandal. He's been having such a rough game. He's just not able to find any of the engagement.
Exactly. I mean, you look at the stats and you can instantly see that Buster, who is the top fragger for the team, is 8 frags, and then RVK, who is like the bottom fragger for Team Force 1, he has 12. Bullet tries to take that early engagement, will take a lot of damage from the pain shell, but then Rafa is going to force him back. I feel like Team Force 1, they will try and explore other avenues as well. They have that presence, Knight Rider's presence towards the A main area as well, where he is constantly been working out these two players, right? Pasha as well as the KJ. Now that's going to be important. If Strokey and Pasha, if they're able to find the kill on Knight Rider, that one flank is going to be taken out of the picture. But Knight Rider, he takes Strokey out of the equation and then instantly falls back, gets away with murder over there. RVK is not going to do much. Instead, it's going to be Rafa as well as Knight Rider. They pull off 2 more kills.
Sorry, bro.
Team Force 1, they are being absolutely brilliant. Buster does get one onto Rafa, but then I don't think that's going to be enough. The Hunter, the one back comes to his...
It's not going to happen. RBK is right around the corner. Buster's going to go for 1 kill, but how much can Buster even do here?
Last player
He's
standing.
going to be able to take down 1, and now it's all up to Bullet to try and find something here. Stargod's going to be able to get that trade on towards the side of Buster, but Bullet, he doesn't know where to look. There's one on his left, there's one on his right. And they're just gonna toy with their food, jiggling it out and then swinging it together as a squad. That's exactly what South Force are gonna do. There is not much that we can try to do against them. Force 1, they were just a better team here, and Team Valor, they just fell apart as a squad.
Absolutely. I mean, you look at the defensive setup of Team Valor, right? For sure, they try to do a lot, but then Team Force 1, their attack was just so much brilliant, right? I talked about this. You need to have that mix up, right? Team Valor, they were being predictable. They were trying to explore more too much. They were trying to explore A shot way too much. We'll have a look at the highlights and we'll see exactly how things went by. But then when we move on to the next half, aggressive, there's one thing that's very, very important to know. Team Force 1, they have their presence all over the map and they're getting fragged left and right. Knight Rider on the A main territory. They have someone in B main. They have someone in mid. They always have that presence in A shot as well. And you'd never really know from where you can get taken down. And that's exactly what you want. And also the fact that there's always this guy RVK in the back lines trying to shut you down in a backstab situation. Knight Rider being so efficient in the front lines, taking down every single player who tries to either invade a side or he trying to invade a side. He is successful in either of those, either defending it or attacking it. And that is what you want from your jet player, right? I guess the rounds which Team Valor did win come out of some minor mistakes Team Force 1 made, but apart from that, Team Force 1, they've been a flawless unit.
Yeah, the way that they're able to play together as a squad here is the main thing that I want to highlight. Their trade potential was just so much more better than the side of Team Valor. The thing is, I wouldn't say that Team Valor were playing bad strategies whatsoever. It was good strats. They were trying to get a lot of control all across the map here. But the thing is, having map control is good, but winning on the gunfights is just even more important. They lost out on so many of their gunfights, and the trades were just not that strong. Look at the side of Force 1, the way they spread themselves out. Yeah, they had so much control all across the map. But the thing is, they made good use of that control by putting in people that can actually play for trades. The side of Force 1, they got 1 kill, and immediately there's another person right around the corner to get that reverse kill onto the second player who could just be going in for a V-swing to try and go in for a trade. The side of Team Valor, though, their trades were too far spread apart. Look at Buster. Look at his position where he is. There's no one to trade him. If someone swings out of heaven right now, who's going to trade him? There's no one. And this was just a lot of isolated 1v1s being given away. And Force 1, they were able to take all of the fights onto their favor. And Team Valor, it was pretty much like taking candy away from a baby. Force 1, they had nothing to really worry about. Every single time that Team Valor took a fight, it was an isolated 1v1. There's no way to trade that. They lost that 1v1, and they just kept on losing men constantly over and over again. Play for the side. Play together as a squad. Team Valor, they need to bring themselves back here. Otherwise, if this repeats again in map number 2, on the map of even the home map of Force 1, we could just be looking at a 2-0 here, and Salty, your prediction could just be perfect, especially if the scoreline is like this here on the scoreboard, 13-3 on Team Valor's home map. That's not expected.
That certainly is not expected, but then you have to look at the scoreboards and you can instantly see what the problem is. And you mentioned it correctly. There has been no trades, and credit to where it goes. You look at Team Force One, they have been able to set up those isolated frags. You need to work to isolate their frags for yourself and also go for simultaneous peaks. Like Team Force One, they've been working to get those 2v1s in their favor. You look at Nitride at 20 frags. He's been the one who tries to barge into a side and destroy the first form of defense. Rafa, Chevy are the ones who are working alongside him. But then RBK and Skog are the ones who are operating under the shadows. They're the ones who are lurking in obnoxious places, and they're the ones who are going to hit you from behind, even if Team Valor finds some momentum in that, even if Team Valor find the frag on a Nitride or probably Rafa. Scargod as well as RBK, they're going to come in from behind and they're going to kill you down. So this has been really Force One's I would say experience that did win in the game. Of course, they were conveniently better in every single department of it, either tactically or mechanically, because they were the ones who were getting all the kills. But then you also have to think about it. You mentioned it correctly. I feel like Team Valor wasn't really playing bad strats. It was the execution of it. There comes a difference between the fact that you have real estate and the fact that you have map control. You can get real estate if you just spread yourself out, but you cannot have map control just putting a player over that. You have to win the trades and you have to put yourself in a position where you have control over that part of the map. That is map control versus real estate. Team Force One, they had map control, and Team Valor, they only had real estate to work with, which wasn't really working in their favor. Sometimes bad investments can also take away money from your pocket, and that's what happened for Team Valor.
The Team Valor, they were just not able to win out on the gunfights, and they were not really able to wake up on the right side of the bed. So it kind of did hurt them, but in a way, I really do hope they have this wake up call for them. They finally are going to shake themselves awake and get their ball rolling when it comes down over to map number 2, because map number 2 is just not going to be as easy as they would have expected, because map number 1 was their home turf. Map number 2 is where the side of Force 1 are known to be very dominant in. That's a map where they have pretty much close to 100% win rate almost when you consider all their previous matches. They're going to be the ones to look over to try and take it all away. But hey, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be setting map number 2, and we're going to be back with the real shortly with the LG Ultragear TC Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant after a short break.
Hey, South Asia Valorant players, I'm Sean Garris.
It's Kusta.
And Michael from Genji Valorant here with some really exciting news.
We have teamed up with LG Ultragear and the Esports Club for Season 2 of the Gauntlet.
The winner of Tec Gauntlet Season 2 will receive an exclusive one-on-one mentoring session with our Valorant team to help identify areas of improvement in their game to prepare for a higher level of gameplay.
In addition to that, we're going to be reacting to some of the top plays throughout this competition. Guys, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so make sure you don't miss out on this. Good luck to everyone competing from everyone here at Genji Valorant.
And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the LG Ultragear Tec Gauntlet Season 2, powered by W Black and AMD Ryzen Radiant, as we are back with the intense high-octane gameplay from these two squads and Force 1 versus Team Valor. It started off on a very unnerving tone, I would say, because Force 1, they played their cards incredibly well. It was a 12-4 scoreline from Force 1, and something that we really didn't... Sorry, it was a 13 scoreline from the side of Force 1 that we didn't really expect as well. We thought that Team Valor, they would be the ones to possibly take this map, or it would be a map which was really close in general, but that was not the case here. A 13-3 from Force 1 straight off the get-go could just set the pace for the map of Haven as well, because Team Valor, it's a slap in the face for them. When you go into the home turf of Force 1, you know for a fact that you're walking into the lion's den pretty much.
Absolutely. We'll actually move on to the agent selection and let's see what sort of a composition do we have for the map of Haven. On the side of Team Force 1, RVK has picked up the Cypher. No surprises there. Rafa might be picking up the second initiator role, just like you talk about. Sky is going to be his default agent this time around. Chevy on the Sova. Scargard on Astra. On the other side, didn't get the time to look at it. I'll just probably... It's pretty similar. It's pretty similar, just for one difference we have a Phoenix instead of a Sky, right? And there's a difference right now. We have two duelists on the side of Team Valor, and we have two initiators on the side of Team Force 1. Team Force 1 know how to play this. They absolutely get every single utility of those two initiators work to perfection, and they get so much information on the back of it. They know how to function using this double initiator composition, and a double duelist composition against that, I don't think it's really possible to break it, honestly. They do have one flasher, but is it enough? Aggressive, what do you think?
I don't think so. Personally, utility game from the side of Force One have been absolutely on point today. All of the utility being placed by Scargod, by Rafa, just hits the mark in a very different way.
Also
And
the timing.
yeah, also the timings. Like, all the marks are being hit beautifully, but the side of Team Valor, they're falling short when it comes down to the team coordination, and I don't really like this. They need to find a different way of trying to go into the placements, and I don't think that the side of Force One, they're going to be giving them any space to do. Nitrate just dashes into side and just pops a couple of people in their heads. RBK's looking for one, but Strictly's going to be the one to shut him down instead. Good shots from both sides, and it's going to be 1-1 trade.
1-for-1 trade, and then we have
Oh,
Team
never mind. Only
struggling.
1-for-1.
One enemy remaining.
They for sure are struggling right now. Only Hunter survives this onslaught. He's gonna peek out, and we suddenly see that all these players are staring at him at his face, and they're like, okay, you're gonna die. And there's nothing he can do about it. In Force One, they have initiated a very fast run, a very fast execution, and they instantly go in for the buys, right? They have the advantage, and they want to swing the ball, and they want to keep the ball rolling. That's what I want to say. Because we saw how momentum heavy this team was in the first map of Ascend. I feel like Haven isn't going to be any different. If Team Valor can stop them right on their tracks, that's going to be their one option to survive in the best of 3 series. Otherwise, it seems like Team Valor might just be going home.
Team Valor,
Blocking sight.
we can't have signed them off just yet. So, come on. It's just a piss around. You cannot really say how a team is going to be playing just based upon their piss arounds when it comes down to the first initial matchup. It all really does depend on the first initial buy round. It's all about doing as much eco damage as possible. Try and force this out of Force One into buying as many rifles as you possibly
Beautiful.
can. That's all that they can do. Possessions are just gonna be good, but Nitro is gonna get that first initial kill onto Buster. A little bit too much pressure from his side. That's gonna cost him, but they have the B side under their control, and they're rotating from inside of B on towards C. Ladies and gentlemen, they have the entire side for themselves. Scargod's gonna swing around the corner, get a kill down on towards the side of Pasha. Now, it's already done and dusted. What do you do here? The side of Team Valor, they don't know what to expect. They don't know where to go, but Roki, I think he's gonna be that X factor that they need to bring everything back here.
He does get one frag, but then look at his HP. He definitely isn't going to survive much. Rafa is already in backside, and they have no idea about it. Hunter will try and go for the retake, but then the kind of position where Rafa is, I think he's going to stop 2 players dead in their tracks. Bullet, the only player who is quite healthy, is going to get taken down, and that basically means Team Valor, their hopes are going to die this moment. Shoki target another one. X Factor, you said. But Scargod is going to put all these guys to their beds. And you're like, okay, fine. It's the second round for us. And now we're going to go for a bonus. Now, Team Force One, they've had this, I don't know, thirst for fast aggressions, right? We saw the first round, we saw the second round as well. They try and go for their early executes, their set piece executes, and they confirm it, and they do it to perfection. This time they got so much control over B side. They had no presence at the C side, because of which 2 players had pushed up. And since it was an eco round, they couldn't really fight off because of that backstab from Team Valor. But considering that the C side was completely open, they just got their chance to go toward the C side and plant spike. Team Force One, they had the entire avenue to work with. This time around, they are exploring the A corridor. The Nitrite is quite low. The dog will be destroyed. The Nitrite is actually pushing forward. He's pressing forward and trying to go for a kill. Sova gets spotted with his pants down. He gets 1 frag. Not the second one, because Stroke is going to find him, and the lure that comes in. He gets the second one, gets another one, but instantly gets straight off. Scargod finds 1 or 2 or 3 right now, and anything can possibly happen. SMGs to work with. Team Valor have a realistic chance of making a comeback.
Oh, that's a beautiful lineup right there.
For sure was. Flash is gonna come out. Buster gets one. Will he get the second one? Not from the RBK. He's gonna put him to his bed. Basha style in a 1v2 situation. RBK with a ghost and a skull.
Yeah, that's just RBK for you, man. He just doesn't care. He runs into bullets on a Spectre. Don't really worry about it. I got it by secondary, and I'm not gonna miss my shot with that. Swings around the corner, jiggles it just a tiny little bit. Short swings it, take that pop head on towards the side of Asha.
Someone would have nerfed this guy's sidearm, man.
Yeah, dude. Like, I don't know why, but RBK is one of those players that can get so many more kills with a sidearm that actually is proper weapon. Give this man a Sheriff, he's gonna ace the entire round. Give him a Vandal or a Phantom, and possibly he's gonna get only 2 to 3 kills at the bare max.
That is good. But nonetheless, look at where Bullet is pushing up. But all that position, all that space is not going to do much because Rafa is once again going to clear up things. He gets one frag in the C side, but then there's still two more players. Stroky through the woodworks. God, give this guy a break right now, Rafa. Also, RVK is pushing up to garage as well. They are spread up. They still have the options open to go back towards the east side. They're trying to get as much real estate, as much information as they want, and they have some of it. They know there are two guys present. RVK gets taken down. That's important because right now the cards are sort of revealed. They know that there are two guys in the C side. There's one in the B side who's trickling towards the A side. That means that B side should be completely empty, and that is exactly where Knight Rider is. He will be able to isolate one guy and exterminate him. Pasha side once he peeks out, even he's gonna get destroyed, and only one player survives.
Bullet versus Knight Rider. This fight will make it or break it for this entire matchup, but Knight Rider doesn't want to take that swing. He understands that the Marshal is right around that corner, but look at Rafa. Rafa just walked in
30
towards
seconds
that
left.
A side. He's going in for a massive fight.
player
There's no need for a swing, but Knight Rider is just too good. He has a Vandal in his hand. It's gonna be strong. But Scargod, he's gonna be able to jiggle out those shots from the side of Stroky. Stroky's not gonna be able to find it with that. That's 0 and 4 of the scorecards, and I don't like the odds here at all, Salty. The side of Team Valor, they don't have an answer for any sort of these aggressive plays being made by the side of Force One. And Force One, the thing is, look at Knight Rider. He's just swinging corners and he just does not care. He's getting away with murder and there's no one to stop him here even. He's literally Jack the Ripper from back in the times of old age London.
True that, but then you look at things, right? You look at how Ascent went by. For sure, Team Force 1, they were the better team mechanically, and this time around, Haven, where the defense is thinner, but they are being forced to thin out the defense considering Team Force 1 spread out positioning. They are always isolating this 1v1 fights into 2v1s, and that's just working for them. You cannot expect these Team Valor players to fight off two players of Force 1 at every single time. Again, if you look at this, they still have that presence towards C. They still have one guy holding B side back, but then Stroky as well as Hunter might be overwhelmed when the entire back of Team Force 1 decide to hit it with their full strength. How can you fight off a 2v4 at this point? Stroky might be good for one and done angle. Hunter actually find the first frag, but immediately RVK and Rafa come up. That wasn't really expected. Buster won't get any sound cues about it. The Cypher definitely unlocks his neural depth, but then the Astral Divider is pure perfect. They're gonna plant the spike, they're gonna fall back, but then Team Valor, they have the job in their hand. It is a 3v4 retake and it can certainly work in their favor, but a kind of crossfire, it's not easy to break. They don't really have a lot of utility to break it. Look at this, the Buster doesn't really have the Molotov to work with as well. He's completely flashed. The Astral utility is there as well. Bullet will try and isolate the one frag. Pasha side with the back lines. This guy can actually make a difference. He's gonna find Knight Rider. Yes, he does. But do they have time to work with? Another one, not smart. Knight Rider, he gets taken down as well. Bullet versus Buster, and Buster wins it.
That's a full-on breakdown.
It was actually Rafa versus Buster though, but yeah, he wins it either way.
But dude, that was a full-on breakdown from the side of Force 1. They didn't have the communication to work with. They just absolutely got demolished in places that you really shouldn't have gotten killed on. But I guess in a high-pressure situation, it does happen.
Exactly. I mean, I don't think communication wasn't there. They just didn't have the time to react. Like, imagine Pasha Sahil. No one expected Pasha Sahil to be in the back lines. And the fact that he got 2 kills over there just completely opened up that crossfire. That entire crossfire was dependent on them being outside of side, playing in from window and outside the side, right? Setting up those crossfires. And then Pasha Sahil is there in the back lines and no one is checking for it. There's, of course, going to be confusion.
Yeah, the call is not as beautiful as you would have expected, but Hunter, he misses such a crucial kill here, and Knight Rider, his crosshair placement was pristine. He's gonna be able to shut one down. He's gonna be able to get a top up as well. A pick me up for himself at the bare minimum. And now look at RVK. He's walking in. He's gonna be the boogeyman here, but Stroky's gonna go for one kill. He's the one to shut down one. And Stroky, he's just so good here, man. Remember what I said? He's gonna be the one X factor that's gonna possibly will them the entire game here. He's gonna be the one to try and bring everything back for them, but at the same time, Knight Rider, he's also that X factor over towards the side of Force 1. If he swings this corner, he should be able to go in for this kill. Does get cornered on out, and Knight Rider, he's hungry for it. You know that he wants it. He's gonna be able to fight it as well. But let's go. Run back. It's gonna be available. Run back should be popped soon enough, but he's just not gonna be going in for it. RVK, he's playing with fire. He got the first initial kill. RVK.
Oh wait, what?
Buster, he's too good.
This was risky. Oh my god, this was risky.
RBK, you don't need to do that. Just step out. Just run away. But you went in for the fight instead.
He had, I mean, man, he had to go for the fight over there. Imagine this. What are the odds that he'll be able to return back to your run it back original body after killing another player in a 1v2 situation and be able to find the final frag? Had Buster's ultimate ran out second earlier, it would have been a round between Force 1, but 4-2 is the scoreline right now. The smoke as well as the gravity well comes through. Pasha Sahil misses the first shot, instantly pushes up towards the long territory. Knight Rider being shut down by Pasha Sahil over there. Buster is in prime position with this Phantom as well, and they have completely locked out the C side. And this time around, RVK will have a lot of responsibility on his shoulders. I feel like the eco round is going to be problematic for Team Force 1. This should be a 4-3 if Team Valor don't mess up. But looking at the defense and looking at their composure, this should be their round. Rafa does have the advantage to work with, but he needs to isolate all the frags by himself, because otherwise the trade game is going to not pan out for him. Praise and praise, but Hunter as well. Oh my god, Pasha Sahil in garage. Wait, and where were the judge?
Enemy
All
remaining.
these guys getting frags. Triple kill for Pasha Sahil over there. Completely dismantles Team Force 1's players, and right now RVK all by himself in a 1v5 situation. This is time to shine. And yes, exactly.
RVK.
This is what we were talking about. It's the first one, but Buster puts an end to his miseries. He's like, okay, not a 1v5 once again.
Yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Strokey, he nearly pulled up a miracle there. Maybe he could have gotten that kill, but hey, RVK, he's just too good for that Sheriff. When he has that Sheriff in his hand, you gotta show him the respect. You gotta back off. You gotta walk away slowly and go in for long-range engagements. And even when you're in a long-range engagement, sometimes RVK is just gonna pop you in the head and, you know, do a little bit for vibe check. He's not gonna use a bat, but in this case, he's gonna use a bullet from that Sheriff being sent at high velocity onto your forehead. And if he likes you, yeah, you're gonna get sent to the grave peacefully. Otherwise, you're gonna get 145 hit in the head, and you're gonna have a headache after right.
Nowhere to run!
Hunter's Fury does come out and bullet in prime position with the judge.
Oh.
Instantly, he's gonna slap Knight Rider and exchange the gun. That's one trade. That's profitable trade. RDK still trying to make his presence felt in garage right now, and they have abandoned that A side completely. As soon as they understand that there is a 3-man stack, they abandon it and they try to go for a C hit or a garage hit. It should be profitable for them, because of course, you look at this, it's a 3v2 situation. A 1-for-1 trade again comes through, but Buster gets a second frag for himself. 2v4 should be easy for them. Of course, he will need to heal himself up. Shivy dodges a flash brilliantly, but then will take a lot of bullets. At this point in Force 1, they're actually dwindling at this point. Rafa pull off a miracle over here. Won't be able to do it, as well as bullet in Strokey. They put the final nail in the coffin in Team Force 1. They give away their lead. And Team Valor, they actually make a comeback right now. Good stuff.
This was a very, very questionable. They needed to try and find a reverse sweep for themselves. They needed to try and force their opposition into a corner. But Force 1, they sent Knight Rider by himself on A short to go in for a same push that he has been going for consistently throughout the entire game. That's not something that you would expect. That's not something that you want from a national player like Knight Rider. You want him to stay alive. You want him to try and go in for entries here. That's gonna hurt quite a lot. They need to try and find something more though. But once again, they're going in for the same push. Is this wise even? It's a real question anymore. A real question at this point here, Salty.
Nothing as of yet, but bullet instantly finds the frag on RBK's Cargod as well as Knight Rider bring 2 back. It's a 4v3 right now. Team Force 1, they really want to pull this back, and they have so much real estate as well as side control at this point. A retake for sure is going to be difficult. They do have the Astral Divide and can take out the long as well as the short territory out of the equation. They will try and deal the spike as much as possible, but then it's not on default. Team Force 1, they're being wise enough. Strokey instantly realizes that this can be an under-heaven plan. Look at this though, the action divide does come through. The reveal on time. They want to split the side into 2. Strokey missing a lot of shots. This is disastrous from them. Buster finally manages to get one. He gets 2, but Scarboard puts another one. It's 1v1, and as soon as the firewall is going to go down, Buster's going to find his 4th. What a round! A 3v4 retake like that.
This is what happens when Buster sacrifices himself. We call him the Daya of our entire Valorant community for a reason. He's going to be busting down the doors of his opposition piece by piece every single time. And when Buster is this angry, when Buster is this mad, and when you back him against the wall, he's gonna fight back hard like a rabid dog. And you can already see 4K in the previous rounds, 4K in this round. Buster, he is going far and beyond to make sure he gets this win for his squad, to make sure their tournament dreams are still gonna stay alive here, ladies and gentlemen. Because you need to remember, if the side of Team Valor lose here, they're gonna get sent back home. There are no more second chances. They're gonna be waiting for season number 3 to roll around the corner for their next chance. But Bullet, he's been playing with fire just a little bit too much. Gets caught out by a couple of the stray shots through the garage door, but that's all that they're gonna get. Swinging around the corner, it's gonna be for one kill, possibly Buster swinging out. He's possibly looking for one, but RBK's not gonna miss that shot this time around. But Hunter, he's gonna be the one to get that kill on towards the face of Shibby. Good amount of damage being dealt as well. The entirety of Force 1, they're not looking good whatsoever. Hunter also gets another kill down on the Scar God. Now Force 1, what do? They're getting caught out from multiple different angles. They're being choked. They don't know where to run.
Spike
They're
down
for
A.
sure getting choked. There is a shit
One
mentality.
enemy
Look at
remaining.
this Team Valor. They're completely dominating the map control at this point. Night Rider
Eyes down.
will be able to find a frag, but then it's a 1v3 required off him right now. Hunter quite low on HP. Can be another frag for Night Rider at this
Oh,
point.
he doesn't know.
Oh,
Beautiful
no.
Hunter. Big brain.
Beautiful maneuvering from Hunter. He used the smoke of his opponent to, to actually get behind him. This is not something you should see every day.
Hey, that's just Hunter for you. He has that experience. He knows exactly how those young players are going to be playing. And Knight Rider just didn't expect it. The experience from the side of Hunter instead is going to be the thing that gets him the win here, gets him the play. And with that, 6-4 on the scorecards. And it feels like Team Valor, they have awakened. The Phoenix has risen from the ashes here, ladies and gentlemen. They're looking to take down the side of Force 1 piece by piece.
Get out of my
As
way.
much as they possibly can. But it already does depend here. Force 1, they need to start adapting. They need to start changing things up. Now, it's an eco round. It's completely fine. This eco round is not as good as you would want it to be, but the thing is, it feels like Force 1, they're breaking down. They're going in for rushes, and they need to try and switch things up in their favor. These rushes are just not going to be good for them. Nitro gets caught up by Buster. Beautiful shot from hit side. Rafa also gets taken out, and one by one, they're just dying. They have
One
nothing to
enemy
do here.
remaining.
They cannot survive.
down,
Pasha with the
C.
spray transfer is going to be able to shut down one more, and now RBK. He's the guy we're looking at. He's the guy we're looking at for a 1 versus 1, 3 versus 5 clutch. He's got to go for one kill, but doesn't know exactly where Pasha is. He's not going to be taking it. Pasha's going to be the one to shut down RBK instead. 4 HP, that's all that he needs to bring everything back onto his side. 3 kills and a
Last
team, and
round
a 7
before
and
the
4
switch.
scoreline for the side of Team Valor. They need to get this to a 7 and 5 years old. Otherwise, I don't think it's going to be working out for them at all.
They have to work way hard if they don't win this round, honestly. 75 scoreline is pretty respectable, but 8-4 is not bad either, because of course we know that this is an attacking sided map, and Team Force 1, they're actually falling short in multiple departments at this point. Team Valor, they're giving away picks, they're giving away kills at certain stages, which is hurting them quite a lot. Again, Bullet is in prime position. He's gonna miss his shot, because of which one player does survive, but Scargard, look at the amount of damage he takes over there. The drone for sure is gonna push him back, but then that does create some space. Night Rider, even he is struggling to actually keep up. Beautiful stuff coming in from Team Valor, and every single time they're the ones who have an advantage to work with. For sure, Team Force 1, they're gonna heal themselves up back and stabilize
I've got
themselves.
your
It's gonna
trail.
be difficult. The Seekers do come out, but they still are yet to find any sort of room. Buck already in the backlines. He's gonna find one. He could have found so much more. It's still a 3v3, and the favor is still in on the side of Team Force 1. I mean, you look at things, it is a 3v3. Team Valor, they are the ones who have to thin out the defense to try and cover all the bases, while Team Force 1, they can focus all their eggs on one basket, and that basket is probably going to be C side. They have so much space to work with. The Pasha side instantly gets neutralized. Shoki will find
player
Rafa, but
standing.
through the smoke, Skargar is going to find the kill. Bullet in a 1v2 situation, the knives don't really connect. That still remains, but RVK is going to find the frag, and Team Force 1, they get an amazing 75 half. I mean, she could have been better, but then 75 isn't going to be a problem if they do the defenses right. Isn't it aggressive?
It's a respectable scoreline. It's completely fine. They don't really have to worry about a lot of things. But at the same time, what I am really worried about is the fact that Team Valor, they've stepped up. They know exactly how to hunt this line and how to trap it piece by piece. They're forcing the side of Enigma into a corner by a lot of the plays that they're making. And Enigma, they're making a lot of what am I saying? Force One, they're also making a lot of mistakes as well from their side, because when you consider how Force One have been playing throughout the day, the thing is they have played it really beautifully on the map of Ascent, but on Haven, it's like they're making a lot more of those rookie mistakes here. They're being over aggressive. They're over committing to a lot of these fights. And they're doing the exact same things that the side of Team Valor were doing previously. In Team Valor, they have fixed their mistakes, but now, Force One, they're doing the same thing all over again, and this could hurt them massively. They're going in for an aggressive push, but Strokey, he just knows. He's just gonna back off now.
No yet control. Rafa comes in with the flash, but they are yet to establish any sort of dominance. Rafa with one nice kill. Bullet and Partial bringing 2 back. Scargard finds another one. It's a 3v3 for them now. No yet. Spike doesn't get taken down as of now, but it does. It's a little problematic with Shivy. No ground for Team Force One to work with. Look at this. They're yet to come through from C main as well.
Here.
I don't understand this. Team Valor, they're actually pushing up.
This is where the main fun is gonna begin. Knight Rider is right from the corner. He doesn't want to go for that shot. They don't know exactly where he is. Knight Rider, you need to go out. Knight Rider, you need to go off here right here and now. The positions are gonna be good. Knight Rider's gonna miss out a couple of shots, but it's completely fine. Maybe it's not fine. Knight Rider, I think he waited too long for this. What just happened? They had the best possible advantage with Knight Rider. He just needed to take the fight a lot more earlier. If he just took the fight immediately, I don't think this disaster would have happened.
Probably wanted to disguise himself inside the smoke, but himself became the smoke instead. But this is going to be a buy round. Look at this though. What does Bullet have in his hands? It's going to be a Phantom. It's a big bad rifle in the second round, and it's going to be interesting because Team Valor, they want to come in with all their forces. They don't want to give in kills. Oh my god!
Oh,
Wait, what?
One more. Just do it. Just give it to him.
It's a headshot, 24 HP. He does survive this. It's a 5v3 suddenly, and 2 weapons drop. This is insane stuff. Do Team Valor still press on from that C main territory, from the C corridor? That's interesting. Strokey already finds his way inside Garage, and RVK is just in pristine position. He's still in position to fight. At least if he doesn't get a kill, he will be able to tag the players quite a lot and just holding that backside beautifully. Scargard in prime position to go for a trade. The first one contact, RVK gets a third. In position to get a fourth, but no, Partial finds 2 players, but I guess he's done his job. 2v3 right now, and it's very doable for Team Force One. Knight Rider knows exactly where Partial is. Tags in quite a lot. The spray does come through, but Partial finds the kill. It's 2v2 right now, and it's getting more and more serious. Both Shivy as well as Rafa are going to come in from the main point of the flash does come through. Rafa gets the one on Strokey. He knows exactly where Partial is. Beautiful stuff, Team Force One. They get the 6th round on board.
Just rise up right now, RVK. Take a bow, because these guys, oh my god. Remember what I was saying, RVK, on that Sheriff? Give him a Sheriff, he's gonna tear you down piece by piece, and he's gonna send you back home packing. But you give him a rifle, that guy's not gonna be able to do the same thing as he just did here. I don't know, man. Him and the Sheriff.
He's pretty good with the Vandal, because that once again is
he's pretty good with the Vandal, dude, but
I'm not sure how proficient he is with a Phantom, honestly, because that kind of involves you to spray and kind of control the spray. But then Vandal, anything that kills one shot, anything that kills one shot, RVK is gonna ace that weapon at least.
Yeah, this guy is too good. The way he's able to get so much value here. So, a Sheriff
found my wife.
Open in
oh no,
themselves on RVK. He's stuck. He's got number 1 kill. Flicks are gonna be strong, but the sprays are just not gonna be as good. But still, he's got his body. Watch for him. But Hunter's gonna be able to go in for an immediate trade. This is the situation that he's taking control of. But Knight Rider's gonna be good for 1. Scarlet needs to try and try and find out another player. He's just not gonna be able to get it. It's all up to Shibby. He has a shock dart. He has a recon bolting. He has a drone.
Oh no, this can work against him.
Oh no, this is not gonna work.
Oh,
Shivy.
Weapon here.
Shivy had to check one angle over there. Shivy literally had to check one angle over there. That astral divide, I don't know. It was probably a misplacement because it didn't make sense. It just split themselves up from a 2v1 situation to 2 1v1s. And Shivi knew exactly this. That there's just only one angle that you need to check before crossing that astral divide. But he wasn't really successful there. But kudos to Team Valor. 9-6 scoreline, and they're slowly inching closer to an insane comeback in this best of 3 series. RBK does spot out Strokey, but then it's not going to be enough. They are reduced to an eco round. Only Rafa does have some weapons to work with. RBK very expensive for Bullet because he loses his gun. And once again, Team Force 1, they have a man advantage to work with. Strokey still trying to make his ground with his Phantom, but then I don't think they will be wise enough to make this decision. They do spot him. Oh no, this is crazy,
They're not
dude.
gonna go for it. They're not gonna go for it. It's just not gonna happen. Even RBK is not crazy enough to swing that corner, knowing for a fact that backup could be right around the corner. They have the man advantage, and they're playing for the man advantage, and that's good. That's what they need to do. Play it slow, play it smart. Do not go in for over engagements. They need this round. They need this round. Oh no, Knight Rider! Missed the first initial shot. That's gonna hurt him, but hey, he gets the second, so it's completely fine and damage. Shots are gonna be taken. They're gonna be able to get guns for themselves. Guns for their side. It's just gonna be as crucial, but Rafa, he just swings around the corner.
Spike
It's
down,
gonna be
C.
good for 1 kill, and now the Scarab God, come on!
Last player
It's gonna be
standing.
good for 1. Starbucks winner, runs out of bullets. That's gonna hurt
30
a lot, but
seconds
at the
left.
same time, Hunter's really hurt as well. 2 bullets to the body, 1 bullet to the head. That's all that he needs to try and get this kill onto Hunter. But the old dog himself, he is still alive. He's gonna be still kicking. Gets spotted out by the owl drone, and with the shock darts now raining in towards his face as well. Shivi's gonna be the one to sow him into the next dimension. Shock dart galore and a shock dart kill as well to work with. 9-6 on the scorecard. That round was way too close for Comfort Man, but at the same time, hey, RBK, he got the first initial sheriff kill. He made the sheriff sing, and every single one of his team members made it all happen. There's a reason why I say that Force 1 are the god of triples, and it's primarily because of RBK.
True that, but look at this. I mean, this is insane, man. They've been losing their gun rounds, but they've been managing to get this insane eco round for themselves. And for sure, all these players are doing their job. Even Knight Rider came up to the task. For sure, he didn't miss the first shot on Strokey and Garage, but then he made up for it. Perfect. Everything is working perfectly for Team Force 1, apart from the fact that they aren't really capable of pulling in multiple rounds at a stretch, right? They won 4 rounds at the start of the game, but after that, they have been giving away their gun rounds consistently. They've just won 3 rounds in, I don't know, the last plethora of rounds that we have had. And that's a problem. If Team Force 1 suddenly find their mojo back, if they can find their groove, I feel like it's going to be interesting. Because Team Valor, they have been playing good. They have been playing good strategies. They've been mixing things up perfectly to kind of keep Team Force 1 on their toes. And it's really important for Team Force 1 to keep their composure at this point, because we know that this defense is good, apart from the fact that they are being intimidated by Team Valor. They do spot out a lot of presence in the C side, and are instantly being pushed back. There's the Hunter's Fury as well as the run it back. Look at this. Beautiful stuff coming in. Bullet actually pushes down Ruff over there. But there's 1 kill. At least the ultimate has been taken down. It's a 4v5 retaken through the woodwork. Scargard. Beautiful frag on a Bullet. Knight Rider, as soon as he waits for the smoke to dissipate, meet his end. That end is going to be Strokey. Here comes a neural threat. Pretty expensive round in terms of ultimates. A lot invested. Shivi doesn't really know exactly where this plays out. That's going to be crazy. And Team Valor, they're going to destroy. They're literally going to destroy the defensive four, the iron wall of Team Force 1 in a buy round once again. And they've been forced to go into the economic dumpsters.
That was a very fast execution from the side of Team Valor. The way that they were able to take that entry, it was fast, it was clean, and it was precise. They knew exactly what angles they needed to hit. They knew what fights they wanted to take, and at the same time, I don't know what really went wrong there. Rafa, he needed to get 1 kill at the bare minimum while he was holding down on the side, but him committing to a spray, knowing for a fact that there's a fast run, it's just a little bit questionable of what they really wanted to do here. But RBK, he just put down his skate and is walking up. He spotted out one of the players. He spotted out Strokey, but there's another crossing right on the top. Scargard gets number 1. Scargard needs to get 1 more for himself. He's not gonna be able to get it. Gets traded out to at the bare minimum. But now it's gonna be Rafa's turn. He's dealing the damage. He's making a plays happen. Strokey's at 1 HP. The Cyclone's hand goes off, and RBK says, "Hello there, sir. Good day to you. I'm gonna send you back home to your own dimension." And with that, that's gonna be the twin brother getting all the kills. And somehow, in some way, shape, or form here, Salty, these 50
enemy
rounds are
remaining.
coming out of absolutely nowhere. How are the side of Force One making their eco routes work like this?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let RVK not buy weapons in his buy round as well. Let him drop weapons for his team. Pasha Sahil instantly finds an opening and goes towards the A side. At 4 HP, this seems to be completely undoable, especially because all the 3 players,
Spike planted.
they are quite healthy from the side of Team Force 1, and they're going to come in from different angles. They're going to come in at you simultaneously because Team Force 1, they've been good with their communication. They've been good with their synergy. It's just up to Pasha Sahil to isolate their frags and kill them flawlessly. Every single one of those shots has to be a headshot without taking damage himself. 4 HP, it's easy trade. One shot even touches your feet, you're dead.
Now, it's all up to Pasha. To try and find something. Pasha's actually gonna be good for one. He's actually making things work out in their favor.
There's
The
no
clock
time.
is ticking on down. But yeah, it's just not gonna happen. Maybe, just do maybe. Maybe in one dimension they could have made it happen. But RVK, he just doesn't need anything. He just needs a sheriff. How many sheriff kills has this guy gotten now? Honestly speaking, I think that half of his kills were sheriffs. No,
More
not
than
even
half.
half, more than half at this point. 10 kills probably with the sheriff and 5 kills with a couple of vandals and phantoms. I guarantee you that's the ratio.
For sure, but look at the ratio of these teams though. They've been going back and forth and back and forth, and there's no consistency. Apart from the fact that they found chaos. They found melody and harmony in chaos.
Camera
RPK
taken
once
out.
again are in a very aggressive position. The flash, we remember that the flash has come through as well. His position has been given out, but there is a lot of presence. The flash comes in from Buster. Isn't gonna flash anybody. Even the Jet is gonna push up as well. Bullet, nice frag on him, and Buster's gonna overwhelm RVK. Once again, these buy rounds, they're really tough on the
What
side of
is
the Force One.
happening?
Spike planted.
I don't know how are they making these 50 rounds work
You
so
are
beautifully,
divided!
but when it comes out to the buy rounds, they get absolutely run over pretty much almost. They don't know what to expect. Ooh, Knight Rider, he's gonna be able to play a little bit of limbo on his side. That's gonna first initial one. It's gonna be able to get that kill on towards the face of Hunter as well. But the clock is ticking on down. They need to go in for this execution fast, but I don't think they're gonna be going in for it. It's better off to go in for that save. Deal as much economic damage as they possibly can on towards the face of Team Valor. But the thing is, they're not really able to find out much here. They're playing things slow, they're playing pretty smart. But the thing is, now with 3 guns being saved, and including in those 3 guns, we do have an operator. They have one more buy round to work with. It's a smart move from the side of Force 1. But the thing is, Team Valor, they need to try and deal some damage here. They have the money to burn, but just not going to be able to find those kills. 11 and 8 on the scorecards now. It's a do or die moment for Force 1. Either they win rounds here and take it to an 11-11, or they're going to be the ones being sent over to the third map.
I've never seen Team Force 1 being cornered in this map, especially on the defensive side. I've never seen them struggle in their buy rounds like this. For sure, their eco rounds is something which we always talk about, but then why is a buy round not coming through? Why is a trade not coming through in their buy rounds? That certainly is a question. Once again, we have a change in setup this time around. It's going to be this guy. It's going to be Rafa who is holding this back, and RBK will once again be the first form of contact. Buster does give away his position, and he knows exactly that Rafa is going to be in this corner. The flash doesn't really flash him. Oh my god, bullet!
Oh, they're
Frag
making
down. A lot of frags come through, a lot of dead bodies in one corner itself. Knight Rider does have some backing. Team Force 1. They really want to make this work, but then Hunter finds triple. Chevy all by himself, the shotgun does a little bit of damage. He gets a frag on a Hunter. Right now it's him versus Pasha Sahil. 36 HP versus 84. No utility on either of them. Whoever finds the first frag is going to find the kill. This position is going to reveal, and Pasha Sahil is going to win the duel.
Pasha just didn't care. He's like, recon bolt, sure. I know for a fact you're gonna break it. I know for a fact you expect me to break that recon bolt, but I'm just not gonna break it, and I'm just gonna be waiting. I'm just gonna be chilling. And now Force 1, they dropped the ball here massively, Salty. Like, they should have been the ones to take a lot of the rounds. They pretty much gave it away by making small mistakes here and there. And Team Valor, they were able to capitalize on it. If you as a team are able to capitalize on every single mistake being made, you play for the trades beautifully, they're gonna be the ones to win. And the team on the side of Team Valor was so good on this map. But the thing is, we pretty much wrote them off saying that, hey, this is the home ground of the side of Force One. There's no way they're going to be losing this, but it feels like the home map of these two teams are where the other team really does suffer. And now Strokey is going to be the first one to get taken down, and Force One, they're trying to keep their dreams of a 2-0 alive here. They're going to be trying to survive. They're going to be going in for the face, but it's just not going to be enough. Possibly not enough, I mean. But the shots are going to be clean. Pasha's going to go for 2 kills. Pasha's looking for support, but RBK with his legs and his Viper is just a little bit stronger. And finally, the team of Force One, they've woken themselves up. They are ready. They're feeling themselves, and they're like, hey, this is how Team Valor are playing. They're consistently going in for C-side executions. How do we solve the C-side executions? We take control of mid, we bring the fight to ourselves, and then as soon as we get that first initial pickup onto Strokey, who's constantly going in for mid-round, early mid-round aggression to try and establish a little bit of control there. If we take him out, then we know for a fact that we can funnel them on towards the side of C. How do you win the C fight? We rush together and go out of the smokes together as a squad. They 3-man pushed inside of the smoke, they went in for the gunfight, they won out on the trades, and they got the round for themselves. This is how they need to play. This is how they really need to win here. It's do or die. Force One, if they want to take this on a 2-0, this is what they need to do.
Exactly. And for sure is do or die. And just like you mentioned, I don't think Force One would love to take this to the third game, because then there can be anything. Nitro gets the first initial pick on a Strokey. Enigma's RVK. Again, it's Force One. We know transfers happen. Here that comes in. Hunter will get spotted out. Shivy. Pasha side. I love this. I absolutely love this. Look at the amount of space they create, right? Enigma. RVK pushes out. But then there it is. Nitride as well as others. They're just holding it back. This is literally perfect from side of Team Force One. They coordinate so well when there's a push and pull combination happening. There's one guy who's pushing in from garage. The other one who is in A main territory. He doesn't need to push. He doesn't need to over-aggress and give away his kill. He just needs to wait.
It's working out for them, but at the same time, how consistent can we be? 2 more rounds. 2 more rounds, Salty. They need to try and figure something out here. Operator not gonna get picked up by the side of Force. They know for a fact they can save in this round, get an operator for Nitro in the following round if they really want to. But remember something else. This is an eco round from the side of Team Valor with only Buster going in for the Hero Phantom play. If Bullet is able to get 1 kill, that's all. That's just everything that they need to find, but it's not even Bullet that gets the first initial kill. It's gonna be Buster. Bullet gets another one on the Scar Guard. Oh no, it's just gonna be a 50-round win for this match. If this happens, this is gonna be an absolute bloodbath. But hey, Nitro is gonna be able to shut down Buster, take it down even just a tiny little bit. Bullet misses out on his shots. Chibi's gonna be the one to deal a good chunk of damage towards him, and now they're looking for this kill. They know for a fact that Bullet's right around the score, and just wait for it. It is gonna be Nitro going in for 1. It is gonna be Rafa being able to shut down Strokey. This is still good. This is still fine. They haven't got any guns for themselves. This is a 2 versus 3 situation on the retake for the side of Force One. They need to find this. Otherwise, it's all over for them. There's nothing that they can do. Oh.
Wait, what? Did this man find anybody? Rafa actually peeks out on the back of the splash. He's been completely trapped with the gravity. It's a 2v1. Bosch high isolates 1. He could actually close it out. Oh my god. Rafa spots him out and sprays him down to keep themselves alive. The 2-0 dream is still on for Team Force One. Beautiful stuff from Team Rafa over there, because you look at his presence, you look at his mentality. He knew that there is going to be the player, but he still checks out. He still jump peeks him and tries to desettle his composure, desettle his aim over there. And as soon as he flicked over, trying to go, trying to shift his aim, he was like, I'm going to peek out and I'm going to spray you down. That was so close, but an eco round for Team Valor. And they put Team Force One in a 1v1 situation. That is their strength. This match has been intense, aggressive.
My heart, I don't know how much more I can take this, Salty. I'm turning into a heart patient at the age of 21, and at the age of 22, I can't even speak anymore. These are just operator players going up against one another, and they're making all of these plays happen, operator versus operator. It is going to be a trade coming on down through, but you lose out Night Rider for the player of Buster. Buster going down is going to hurt a lot more now, because they don't have the flashes anymore to go in for that execution. They don't have the possibility of the run it back as well. Either way, he's not going to be able to get that run back. I didn't notice it initially that he was on a 1 and 6, but it's completely fine and dandy. But look at Strokey's making a push happen on his own accord. Both of them get dinged in the head. They're just gonna run on back. They're not gonna be going for anything here. Just chilling. They're holding down that forward, but with Team Valor now taking the entirety of the B side under their control. Strokey's going into backside. The flash is gonna be going on down, but Strokey was not flashed. Ladies and gentlemen, they're just falling apart, but Shimmy's gonna go for one kill. He's going for one more. RB's gonna be able to shut down Bullet. This is very much possible 2 versus 2 situation on the map, and Team Valor, they're all at low HP. How are they gonna try and find this? Map control's not in their favor either. RBK, he's played mind games. He knows for a fact that the seaside execution is on the cards. They're making all the noise in the entire world. Hunter's right around it.
Remaining.
He's gonna be able to find it as well, and now it's all up to Strokey. But that's not even gonna happen. Cypher just takes off his hat and he's like, oh, I know exactly where you are. You're my twin brother. I know how you feel. I know how you think. And Jimmy, he's gonna be able to sweep through the walls to take it all the way. 12 and 12, the scorecards here, ladies and gentlemen, and an intense fight.
Switching sides. Overtime.
Do you watch WWE aggressive?
No, why?
You know, there's always this moment where a player is pinned down and the referee goes 1, 2, and as soon as he's about to strike 3, the player who is lying down, he just, gets back up and starts fighting once again. This was a similar situation. I don't know if you can understand the reference, but then
I get it.
Team Force One, they were pinned. They were pinned with their back against the wall. They were like, all right, this is going to be your last resort. And then they powered themselves up. They move. They just suddenly find their mojo and their groove, especially when they are in a tough situation and they come back 12-12 overtime. The first round, Team Valor, they start on defense, and once again the Rafa flash comes in. Bullet is in Subos. He will try and get the first pick, and he does. Scargod, and that's the controller out of the game already. No smokes for you, Force One. They do have the information. They do have players like this Knight Rider pushes up, but instantly gets neutralized by Strokey. What a wonderful play, but Rafa gets 1 back, gets 2, but instantly gets straight out. It's 2v3 right now, RBK from behind. This is going to be interesting.
Enemy remaining.
It's not gonna happen. It's all up to Shibby. Shibby's gonna go for 1 kill. Actually, this is very much possible. Never mind, I'm not gonna write Shibby off just yet. He could just make things work for himself, but Shibby, he doesn't go in for the plant. He just walks away from it. This revealing area. Shibby, he thought has enough time. The Tsar's gonna get pulling him as well. But Shibby just going for the plant, my man. It's alright, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But they're wasting so much time with the plant. The thing is, Team Valor, it's completely alright. They can just go in for the double peek. It's all up to Shibby to try and survive here. Hot hands gonna be coming on down through as well, and he needs to swing around the corner. He did not play that as beautifully as he could have. The pressure was too much, especially with the Astro Stars right on his face. Shibby didn't know what to expect there. That's gonna be 30-12 on the scorecards, and map number 2 is somehow shaping up to be a really close game. And considering what we have seen coming on down through from the side of Force One on their own defensive side, this could just be going into overtime number 2 as well, because Team Valor, they haven't really figured out how to adapt to the defensive hold that Force One have been putting on against them for this final stretch of the map.
Have they? I guess they have some strategy. Their seaside pushes have been working out for some reason. And this time around, I guess RVK is going to be that Knight Rider with the operator. Now, I'm not really sure if they have an operator on the other side. They don't. Now, that's going to be interesting because we saw that there was one situation where Buster was taken down by Knight Rider, but then Knight Rider was straight out Bullet. So that was when operator versus operator trade out. Then all of these players are actually pushing up. This can be risky because Bullet is in prime position. Now, if they try and overextend too much, they can give away kills, and you don't want to do that. Right? A lot of information, a lot of real estate, a lot of map control for Team Force One, but then you don't want to overextend on the back of it. They've left B side completely open. They have this guy in garage. That basically means the Team Valor, they can go anywhere they want but C side. But then this is a chess game right now. This is the game of patience. None of them want to make the first move. They just want to wait and want the opposition to make the first move. Knight Rider does take down Bullet. Yes, that exactly is the first mistake. And now Team Valor, they're kind of deterred at this point. They're kind of bothered on where to go. Once again, Strokey is still trying to find some space for himself. They're trying to fall back, but then RBK is in prime position. They probably want to spend a second while RBK gets the frag. But the trade comes through from Pasha Sahil. Knight Rider's in prime position. Yes, Pasha Sahil.
Down,
6 feet under. 2v4 right now. Team Valor, what can they possibly do? Strokey will try and definitely push up garage, but then every single angle has been checked. And Team Force One, they look formidable at this point. They look like a full force team at this point. They don't want to let Team Valor enter into the side. Flashes come in. Hunter wasn't even close. The man was like pray and pray. I'm blind, I cannot see. What can a blind man do
Switching
in that
sides.
position?
Overtime.
Nothing.
A pair of sunglasses as well, man. Because he's gonna need those sunglasses after this match because of the amount of flashes being thrown from the side of Rafa. But this game is getting closer and closer to be one that could be on for the books as well here, ladies and gentlemen. We didn't really expect match number two to be this close. We expected match number 1 to be playing out like this, but on Haven against Force One, Team Valor playing this beautifully. They switched up their strategy entirely. They woke up as soon as they lost the first initial map, and they're trying to keep their tournament dreams alive here, but I don't know for how long they're going to be able to do it. And now Bullet, he's honestly going in for the swing once again. Such a dangerous player. He's going to get caught out. Bullet, he's going to run on away, but he gets tagged down as well. 70 HP on the operator player. It's more than enough to go in for a couple of plays and more than enough to go in for a couple of swings. But this double initiator play is going to force out Bullet once again. And Bullet is like, just let me swing, man. Let me play with my gun. Why are you doing me like this? You just don't break my heart like this, man. Just like my ex just broke my heart. She just
let's not go there. Let's not go there. all right.
Okay.
Let's find what. I understand, man. I understand. You're passionate. You're passionate about the game, and so am I. At this point, Nitro is slowly
they just
creeping
walked
towards
away
the
from it?
Yeah, exactly. They just walked away from it, and now they're creeping their way to the A side. The spike has been dropped.
Spike
This is
down
casual
A.
from Team Force One. Team Valor, they have so much control right now. It's a 5v3. It should be an easy retake, and they can easily isolate the players who are inside already. But then, what can we possibly see? A smoke just comes through, and they
30
retrieve
seconds
the spike, and they will go for the plant. But a 5v3 retake, no ultimates to work with. Nitrider just holding his angle, and I guess Bullet knows exactly. He'll be the first one to get a sense of the gun battle.
Oh, Nitrider, come on!
Scar's impossible. Hunter jumps down as well. This is a debacle, and if Team Force One can get this can be insane, because next time they're going to be on their defensive side, and we know that Force One, they've been winning the defensive side way too much. Scar with the triple kill, and Nitride over there with the double. This has been absolutely insane for Team Force One.
Switching
A
sides.
brilliant recovery, especially
Match
after the
point.
first 2 kills. But the way they converted this on the back of that wonderful plant and wait control situation, I don't know what you want to call it, but Team Valor had to take the first steps. They had no utility to clear out angles. You see, Nitrider was stuck in that corner, but they had no utility to check that angle or probably take him out of that position. There was nobody to check under heaven as well. And from all those positions, you get so many kills to work with. There's no way you're going to get that retake with no flashes, no stuns, no gravity wells, nothing. The Astro was completely useless because the stars were already deployed, and now Team Valor, they're on the attacking side, and they have the ball on their court right now, aggressive.
They're desperate. They are very desperate to try and push into the B side like this. This is super dangerous for them, but at the same time, Stroky, he has full control. He's going to get the first initial kill down onto Scargot. Scargot's not going to be able to find it. Positions are strong. Positions are good. They just need to go in for the final bit of the execution. Strokey is pretty much deep into the enemy backlines, and now all the members of the side of Force One, they're just guessing. They don't know what to expect here. Nitrider knows that Strokey's in the back end. He needs to find that perfect wallbang shot if he wants to get it, though. Strokey, he's just looking at his camera, and Chibi, he was holding down too low. Buster's gonna have the better crosshair placement, and one by one, somehow, in some way, shape, or form, Team Valor, they're able to make things work. Somehow, they're gonna be the ones to find all of these kills here. RPK, he's stuck in a corner. They don't know what to expect. Nitrider's gonna be good for 1 kill, but they really do need to find one more. Rafa's on the flank. His position is good. No one's gonna be clearing him. There are no tripwires as well on the back end. Try and catch out Rafa. If he just finds one, he just needs to get one. They need to wait. They need to play it slow. Wait for Rafa to go in for the positional play, but BK, he went in a little bit too early. That's gonna hurt him. Rafa's gonna be good for 1. He's going for 1 more flash play, but once again, gets caught out.
Oh, no!
And 14 and 14 on the scorecard. Such a nail biter of a game here, Salty. I don't know what we're witnessing here. This is like a grand finals happening here on the semifinals on the lower brackets. Both of these teams are fighting through tooth and nail to try and bring back all of the matches that they can here. But the thing is, Salty, on a 14 and 14, we have seen the side of Force One win out on the attacking side. We have seen the side of Team Valor win out on their own attacking side. Who's going to be the one to win out on the defense here?
Oh man, I don't know. This is probably a 14-14 game that have started after a pretty long time, and I just cannot guess. You look at the stack in the C side, right? They've left the B side completely open. Only one star from the Astra to defend it, and everything has been dumped into the C side. 4 stars to 1 tripwire in garage. It's like they want to defend it, that fort, but then the A side has been left completely open. The Jet is the only form of defense over there, and the B side does have the Sova. It's a little risky for Team Force. It's a little risky for Team Valor to put so much utility towards the C side when all these players, they're just starting to funnel in towards the A side. They can reinforce it, but if they get so much control, if they get the spike down towards the A side, I believe it's going to be a little too late. Team Force 1, they're still guessing at this point. They're still trying to hover around. They're still trying to understand their chances. And it's surprising that nobody from Team Valor has actually gone in for that backstab yet, because we have spent 1 minute
Bullet.
in the round already. Bullet. Yes, exactly.
All up to you,
He's
man.
going to be the
It's
first
all up
form of
to
contact.
you.
The first form of contact, and Knight Rider shuts
30
him
seconds
down.
left.
Hunter being completely stuck out of sight, and now the spike is going to go down. All these players from Team Force 1, they're going to go to Force 1 positions, and we can see a 5v4 retake. It's interesting the Team Valor did not go for a backstab. Strokey, exactly. This could have been done a little while ago, but then RVK... Not successful on that. Not successful on that frag. Even Hunter takes a buffer. Something which should be easy.
God.
He gets cargoed as well. He spots the Knight Rider, jumps down, but Knight Rider finally puts an end to Hunter over there. Shady, he's pretty low. Couldn't really get the 2. What is happening? Knight Rider with a 1v2 required of him, and the Buster is gonna bust his skull.
What is happening?
I don't know.
Side of Force 1, they have all of the advantages in the entire world to win out on this game. There's no need to peek heaven, just walk away from
Switching
it.
sides.
Don't even
Match
look at it.
point.
But they take the fight. Hunter is able to take down 2. Shivi could have taken down multiple, but it's completely fine. The panic was going to be there, especially when you have like 3 players pushing into you from inside of a smoke. It's alright, don't really worry about it. But everything's just falling apart for the side of Force 1, and everything's falling apart for the side of Team Valor as well. I don't know, man. This is such a topsy-turvy game that it's really hard to predict who's going to be able to take all of this away. Once again, it is going to be the defensive side of the side of Force 1. It's their chance to try and bring something back onto their own ball court here. But it's not what they're going to get. Knight Rider is going to be able to survive. He just walks away unscathed. Gets spotted out by the Recon Bulgoro, but that's pretty much it. Bullet, though, on the other hand, takes a little bit of chip damage. Gets tagged down to 67. 2 more bullets to his body. That's all that he needs to get hit by to take it all away. Scargod, he's playing with fire. I don't like this, dude. Why are they over-aggressing on these corners? The fact is, this is a 15-14 game. You're supposed to play it slow, man. You're not supposed to go in fast.
Here.
And now Buster, he's just waiting. He wants to go in for the lineup play. This is an execution down towards that A side. A full-fledged execution from the side of Team Valor. They're waiting for it. They're waiting for the timer. They're waiting for the sounds. This is all that they need. Bring it on back. Bring it back home. With that, that's going to be Knight Rider with the first skill to open everything up.
Bullet all by himself. Hunter is trying to push it. They don't really have a lot of time. But then, wait, what? Hunter? You didn't pull off that
Strike
off.
down A.
Shivi as well as
Last
RVK
player
pull 3
standing.
back on their own. And right now, there's only 1 player, Strokey, who can actually do this. Who can actually do the wonders. Nobody actually knows that he's
30
in the back
seconds
lines,
left.
but Rafa is checking the right angle. I guess he's going to get a taste.
He's not going to clear it.
Oh.
Take it away.
Once again, 15-15.
Another one, ladies and gentlemen. Give it up
Switching
for both of these
sides.
teams, man, because
Overtime.
they've been proving themselves to be the ones to go the distance and possibly set another overtime record. You never know. Come on, we won that 20 and 20 scoreline. We won the 20 and 21 scoreline, also the 21 and 21 score. Make it.
I'm not really sure if the players as well as us are gonna last up until like 2021.
We're not gonna last for long, but it's fine. Hey, we're here for the audience. We're here to give them the best possible game that they can imagine through our commentary. And if we die in the process, I think we're gonna die happy.
Yes, exactly. It's like, I don't know, man. Strokey, he actually
It's a
pushes out.
sacrifice. Okay, Strokey. Okay, Strokey. This is dangerous, but you're playing a game that you could just win here. He doesn't check it. He doesn't check it, Strokey. He's gonna walk in and he's gonna get a free kill. Oh, no, RBK. That's gonna hurt. You need to check your middle ground, man. But Strokey, his timings are just so good on these things.
Team Force 1, they're actually unbothered. Rafa gets that frag, that's good. But no one is actually checking Shoki's position. Even he has reinforcements, 2 players in the backlines, and now they have the site under control. They have the site under lockdown. Not lockdown specifically, they have it under control. 2 people coming in from the backlines, that can be problematic, but then
Spike planted.
Bullet with the AWP, that's not happening for sure. Buster does have a lineup as well. That's going to clear out one corner for him right
Oh
up.
no, they
This
missed
is
the
not
shot.
something which... Yes, he does. I mean, this is not something which is a regular occasion. Scargod will try and isolate one guy. He does terminate him as well.
Get another
Scargod
one.
gets 2. This man is just considered as hell.
You are divided.
Rafa knows exactly where he's going to come from. Will spray him down
okay,
16-15.
Strokey's just being a little bit of an Easter bunny in the
Switching
background, and now
sides.
it's 15 and
Match
16.
point.
Tables have turned, and it's gonna be the side of Force 1 being able to take the 16th round of the board for themselves. But 32 rounds here, Salt Team. 32. Here is where the side of Force 1 they need to make their stand. Here is where they can close everything down, take it a 2-0, and just to walk away happy and move forward on the lower brackets. But at the same time, I don't think that Team Valor is going to make it perfect. It's going to be a 16 and 16, but wait a second. Look at the position of Rafa. He's pushing up really deep, and from the side of Team Valor, they're establishing heavy garage control, and there is nothing to stop them from establishing this control. Knight Rider, though, he's gonna be the one. He's a literal turret holding it down strongly with that operator now, without the form of Buster to be there with try and give the flash utility. They have no flashes to work with. How are they gonna enter? And I think that's how they're gonna enter instead. It's gonna be Bullet with a big slap to the forehead of Knight Rider. Takes on the operator play, and with that, things are going to slow down once again. Scargod knows for a fact that Shoki's on towards the side of main. Did give him a dink to the head. Shoki's at 10 HP, and there's no way to go in for a heal. But Bullet, he's still alive. He can get the backup. But Rafa, he's going to be the danger man here. He's just going to be the one to shut everyone down. Swinging on the corner.
no.
The shot. Oh no, ladies and gentlemen, things are going to fall apart right here and now. Rafa needs to get 1 kill. He's going to be able to find it. It's completely fine. And then he gives the backup. But look at Bullet. Bullet walking down in. Bullet's going to be able to find 1 kill. Pasha gets another one. 1-2 for Rafa as well. Whips are there, but it's completely fine. Scargod's on the backup side. Things are strong. Things are good. He's got to go for 2.
1 enemy remaining.
Scargod, he's going to be able to
Spike
make it all happen.
down,
Stroke's
C.
at 1 HP. Scargod needs to be the opening player. Scargod needs to be the one to end everything off. And with that, ladies and
Defenders
gentlemen, a long, grueling fight from these two teams. 15 and 17 on the scorecards. And it was the side of Force 1 to bring everything back here. Oh my God, this was too close for comfort. I'm at the edge of my seat. I literally stood up almost twice. You don't want to do this to me, man.
Same here, dude. Same here. Didn't expect this to last so long, especially after the beating that Team Force 1 engraved upon Team Valor in the first match. Just imagine this 13-3 in their home turf, and then Force 1 on the map of Favorite, which is supposed to be like their fort, their iron wall and everything. They're hammered. They had to go to like 32 rounds to win this. Like, this is literally double the number of rounds we have played in the first game, in the second game. 16-32. We'll have a look at the highlights, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of it, and we have a lot to talk about. But aggressive, I need to say this. This wasn't really like a tactical masterclass from both the teams. I would say this is just passion to stay in the tournament. And this was just pure gun game at this point. Like trades after trades after trades, positioning, clutches, and guts. There was a lot of gut display. Exactly. Like, you imagine a situation is going to be in XYZ team's play. Let's say the situation is in Team Force 1's favor, but then suddenly a player from Team Valor is going to step up and be like, all right, I'm going to change things. And this just doesn't happen in one round. These are supposed to be rare occasions, but no, in this one, it happens every single round. In this map, it happens every single half. And that's not normal. And when stuff like that happens, when both the teams put in equal efforts to win a game like this, when both of them are equally as strong, we play till 32 rounds. This could have gotten even closer.
Honestly speaking, this could have just got even further in if Bullet was able to get that trade on the Scargod. Scargod getting 2 kills there. He should not have gotten it whatsoever. He should have died there immediately, but Bullet just was not able to get that spray. He got caught off guard. He didn't expect Scargod to be there, and Scargod pulled off a miracle there. But the thing is, so